Fellas, what's good, man? We live and direct, back once again. Um, y'all had to know that the first topic was going to be about George Floyd. Um, um, Mark, what are your thoughts on the George Floyd situation?
And for everybody who blessed. Um, yeah, I mean, what do you mean by thoughts, though? Can you be more specific about, or do
Yeah,
you want me to just
definitely,
digress?
definitely, man. Like just in general, like I guess the larger conversation is, what are your thoughts on policing in urban communities, and I guess tying that into the latest, which is the murder, the
Right,
execution of George Floyd.
gotcha. Um, I've been talking about this for a while since it happened, before it happened, other things that happened with a lot of people work with, whatever. It's interesting, like, because when you talk about policing in the black communities, no one wants to talk about who policed the people that's policing us. That's always the backlash question, right? That's the consequence of what's happening, right? It's like there needs to be accountability in the police department within not just the black communities but across the spectrum. There needs to be accountability for police officers who are good because they're getting overshadowed by the bad cops. If they're, because I can't keep hearing, oh, there are not a lot of them, but that kind of goes when one ear and out the other when the bad apples seem to overshadow the good apples. Just like they were talking about with the protests and the riots. The riot wasn't happening as much nearly as the protest was happening, but the riot was the story. You know what I mean? And they forgot why the riot was even going, based off, you know what I mean, because of what was going on. And so I think people tend to fall victimized to the negativity of situations without really wanting to just sort of like showcase and acknowledge this was a consequence for this. You know what I mean? And until you begin to say, that's why everybody say her name, say his name. If you don't even want to have those type of conversations, then you know what I mean. Then we can't even begin to have these type of conversations. And so once things hit George Floyd, you know what I mean. His murder was widely recorded. It reminded me of the passing of, obviously I wasn't there, of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, right? People like to say, "Oh no, 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 John F. Kennedy was such a good guy." Yeah, he was good, but he really only passed the law when he started seeing white people get attacked on TV as well. I mean, everybody knew black people were getting attacked, but when it became a big deal when white people started getting attacked, and everybody started feeling like, "Oh, that's just not black people," and so after what it was like after it was like 6, 7, 8 days of protesting, then they decided to pass the legislation. And so we're now starting to see our consequence from all of the hard work that the people on the ground have been doing. Obviously, you know what I mean, a lot more can be done. I have a problem. I agree with everything that's going on, but I also have a problem with it. I have a problem. I love that everybody's starting to get woke, if that's what you want to do. I have a problem with the sensationalization of Black Lives Matter and how it has sort of transformed into this this vocalized need to just show others that, hey, I like do matter. We can't say all lives matter without saying Black Lives Matter, right? But now it's this propagandized, you know what I mean, like movement, and it's sort of pushes focus. But I mean, it's all about how you use it, and so like that. I love everything that's happening. Like I said, I just want to see sustainable solutions.
Wow, that makes perfect sense, Mark. Um, that makes perfect sense. Vaughn, what are your thoughts on the situation?
All right, so allow me to be the coon on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because there's going to be 98% of black people that won't agree with what I say. I'm sorry about the light, and I had to change it because, like I say, I'm on the move. So I'm in my vehicle. So I apologize for my lighting. But the George Floyd situation, I understand it from a different aspect than a lot of people. First of all, that cop should not have had his knee on that man's neck. As a former correctional officer, as someone that has detained a million fucking Iraqis and Afghanis, as a member of the army, there are ways to detain people without putting your body weight on parts of their body that can cause a substantial damage or death. But this is why I say here's where I'm going to be the coon, because a lot of people, there's one person in that whole situation that I don't feel should have been charged with anything. The little Asian dude that wasn't touching George Floyd, I wholeheartedly feel that dude should not have been charged with anything. What he was doing is what we in the military call pulling security. Yes, he could have spoke up and said, hey, get your knee off his neck or whatever. But you know what my main concern is in that position that he was in? Watching this crowd to make sure that they don't move forward and not have to try and restrain or fight them. And two, to make sure that my buddies are safe. Because at the end of the day, this is a phrase I live by. It's going to be me or you. And at the end of the day, it's going to always be you. So, the little Filipino or Asian dude, wherever he was, he's the only one I feel shouldn't be in trouble. The mother three motherfuckers, fry they ass. They deserve it. And not only that, if you know the history of George Floyd and David Chauvin, you'll understand that shit was personal for Chauvin.
Yeah.
George Floyd was a bouncer at a bar, and him and Chauvin got into it several times. So when he saw him in his position of authority, he chose to act upon it. So yes, that shit was premeditated. He shouldn't just be getting a first-degree murder charge. He should be getting a premeditated murder charge because that man has been plotting on that man. That was personal.
Right.
Now, when it comes to the overall view of policing, there are great cops in the city of Chicago and in other cities. But like Mark said, everyone looks at those bad apples. I'm going to name a few. Antar Carr, Mike Anderson, Antoinette Lovelace, Deborah Stigler, my grandfather who's retired and passed away, Sidney Baker, all great cops. But you have your dude, I forget the dude's name because I'm not going to lie, I've been drinking. The dude that off the kid with the knife, what's his name? Laquan McDonald. That dude, he's a piece of shit. Those dudes overshadow all the people that I just named. When it comes to policing, it's as simple as this. If they would stop enabling these cops to be lazy and putting them all in vehicles and go back to a system of where you're going to walk and you're going to learn you're going to learn the neighborhood that you work in. Now that I know Vondrell Phillips, I know that's a good kid. I'm not going to just fuck with him the way I would ABC because I know he's selling drugs. But Vondrell, he's a good kid. I'm not going to fuck with him. And if they got back to that, being in the neighborhoods and learning the people in the neighborhoods, the relationships would be better.
Mm-hmm.
I think you hit on some interesting points too, Von. You and Mark both did. I think one thing in terms of law enforcement is we should demand that the officers in these communities look like the communities, that they're reflective of the demographic, the racial makeup of that community. Part of it, they may want to look at what's called zip code recruiting. You may want to look at people who are from these different zip codes and have them, policing people that look like them. And to your point, Von, that gets to community policing. That gets to building up a rapport with people. And it's no different than any other mentoring program. It's once you have a rapport with someone, you treat them differently, you can come at them differently, and based upon that relationship, you can leverage that relationship to be like, come on, man, cut that shit out. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
As opposed to shooting them. And then you got that compassion with it where you just like, look, man, I met his mom, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't play ball with him, because we're in the community, we mixing it up and things like that. So the odds of it being a contentious interaction are greatly greatly attenuated, greatly. But it goes back to demilitarizing the police force. It's the mindset. It's not even just the ammunition. They could take all the ammunition away from them. The more important thing is they're militarizing their brain. It's us
Right.
versus. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Yes.
the only thing that I would disagree with you on, Vaughn,
Mhm.
is with the Asian officer. I believe he was the Filipino officer. My thing is this, right? So let's transform that situation. Let's say that those three guys were holding a young lady down and they were gang raping her. That fourth person that was on the lookout, we would hold him accountable too because he would become complicit. So I think if we just transpose those two situations, then he's just as guilty as anyone else. And then to me, he may be almost more guilty because now you're stopping people from you're using your authority to stop people who
Right.
would generally
Help.
come and stop. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
Oh,
I definitely
and
understand what you're saying. And from your standpoint, in terms of the military and all that, that makes perfect sense. But in terms of during the commission of a crime, I feel like it takes on a different complexion.
I understand that,
Yeah.
and I respect that position. And you know what? That only thing that did was gave me a different way of looking at it, and I totally fucking get it. I totally get it, and I hadn't thought
Right.
about it that way because of the experiences that I've had, and I thank you for that because with you saying that, yeah, fry that motherfucker too.
Hey, what I will say though, and I want to hear Ant's opinion on that too. But when I was speaking on the accountability of police officers, I'm still just concerned with the way we police officers
Mm,
because Breonna Taylor killers are still
Mm,
out free,
mm,
living their lives,
mm-hmm.
right?
mm.
And you know what I mean, and sort of that wave is sort of slowing down because I wouldn't say it was overshadowed by another death, but it
Mm.
was kind of like another death, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that was like broadcasted, like you know what I mean. But you know what I mean. She really was like man, her own business. Like, and so it's like it's crazy, man. Like with the whole quarantine situation, man. You can't quarantine the same. Like we're in a whole. When you think about it though, like we are in a whole global pandemic, bro.
Oh,
And racism is the biggest news story. How is
okay,
racism overshadowing a global pandemic? That's what's so crazy. Go ahead.
Mark. Let me explain to you why. Let me explain to you why that Breonna Taylor thing hit home for me. Two reasons. One, being after spending 8 years of my life in Kentucky at Fort Campbell, I understand the racism that is in Kentucky, and it's deep.
Yeah.
Believe me, it's deep. So that has really been pissing me off. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that that hierarchy that Caucasian people have in Kentucky over African Americans and Hispanics and everyone else is strong. But reason why that hit home for me is because I'm trying to think. It was 2015. 2015. It was July
Yeah.
2015. I had the police, and so I come home. I get my wife. I get my youngest daughter, and we go grocery shopping. I come home an hour later. My front door is kicked in. Chicago police has kicked in my door, looking for a guy that hasn't lived there in 5 years at least. And this is why it hits home for me. If I had been at home, I would be dead right now. There's a gun in every room of my house, even in my kids' rooms. Because my whole thing is this. If someone ever comes in here and they decides to take us hostage or tie us up and put us in a room, I know where that gun is.
Right.
If I can get out of these ties, I'm about to die protecting everybody in this house.
Of course.
So the police, if they had a bust through that door while I was at home, I would be dead right now. Because I don't know that you're the police. You're just kicking down a
Of course
door.
not.
And
Of
guess
course
what?
not.
My first reaction is I'm shooting. I'm going to shoot first. I'll ask questions later.
Which is what he did.
And again, these dudes came into this woman's house looking for someone that was not in that home, and they killed that woman for no reason. That woman died in her bed. What threat did she
Man of her
pose?
business.
What threat did that woman pose? And that still hurts me because every time I think of her, I think of how that could have been me. Because I would have had a different reaction to that door being kicked in, which is why I love the fact that Kentucky has passed the no knock law. You can't just bust in without knocking. You have to knock, and you have to say who you are before you can come into a home. And what I hope that they do is make it as to where, okay, let's say you don't get an answer, and those cops assume that no one's home, and they
Right.
still bust in. Now that's a misdemeanor trespass charge or something. And if they do anything beyond that, now it's a felony. They need to be
Right.
like you was just saying. They need to be held accountable. And again, like I said, I have, and even though Shawn just enlightened me on a different aspect of it, I had more sympathy and more empathy for the Breonna Taylor situation than I did the George Floyd situation. Even though I knew the George Floyd situation was some personal shit.
Right.
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense. It's funny when these situations happen, you always see them rushing to put money into more training, and that's the first thing. Those same notes they hit. Well, we need more training. We need more, implicit bias training. This
Mm-hmm.
thing, right? If I am a Native American and my land was stolen by Christopher Columbus and his posse, you think you can train me as a Native American to like white people at that time? You can't. I'm biased. Why? And I'm
That's
rightfully biased
impossible.
at that moment. Why? Because they fuck my
Right.
people up. You know what I'm saying? So you can't out train bias. You can't out train bigotry or racism. This shit is ingrained in these people. And they go and do that job for 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, whatever the case may be. But when they leave there, they still racist. You can't
Mm.
out train that. You know what I'm saying? So all those buzzwords they throw out and put money into training, fuck that. Nah, they need to be up out of there. You know what I'm saying? And we got to demand that type of shit, man. We got to hold them accountable. Because at some point, people going to start to revolt and these people are going to come up missing. You know what I'm saying? Because what people got to understand, it's the same thing that security guards have to understand. You can talk tough in the club, but you got to leave that club at some point. And then real
Exactly.
outside, you know what I'm saying? At some point, real niggas going to be outside and they're going to treat these
Right.
police officers like regular people. The crazy, ironic thing is that the one thing that's keeping niggas off their ass is the fact that they're law enforcement. It's not the fact that it's illegal to kill somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Niggas don't care about that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's the fact that weirdly, even criminals respect that badge and respect that authority. Honestly, to our detriment sometimes. Because if you think about it, right? Even in those situations, you would freeze in situations when officers are doing things to you, or in situations where you wouldn't freeze in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if somebody ran down on George Floyd, as big as he was, as strong as he seemed to be, he wouldn't have let no, you know what I'm saying, no dudes run down on him like that without reacting. It was the fact
Yes.
that he
Right.
respected their badge and their authority that he allowed them to do that. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? But at some point, man,
I,
man,
I tell it I tell it like this. I said we do a lot of we've been talking for practically a century. You know what I mean? Trying to be heard, and you know what I mean, like vocalizing our concerns, our issues in the black community, and like this is what's happening, this is what we want. And arguably, you keep everybody's trying to say that I don't think we're asking for anything too, you know what I mean, like too out of reach. We're just asking for equity and equality, right? But then, like, it's like this is going to happen. This is like one of my biggest fears. It's like I told a good friend of mine the other day. I said, while we've been talking, no one has been listening. My
Hmm.
biggest fear is when they're ready to listen, we have no more words to say. And so what happens at that point, I just hate to see it.
Yeah. And to go to what you just said, I'm gonna take it back in history because I'm a historian. I love history. There's a reason you had Nat Turner burning down these damn farms.
Right.
There's a reason. Well, oh my God, I forgot what my man's name was. Oh, go look up the first black congressman. I forget his name. It's Robert Smalls. Robert Smalls. My man took a whole dang on ship and went up the East Coast, freeing people. And I'm talking about he took a whole ship, he took a whole boat, one of the
Right.
warships, and went up the coast, the East Coast, freeing people from South Carolina up to New York, I believe, and came back and ended up becoming it became the first black congressman. Robert Smalls, that was his name, and he became one of the first black congressmen. He's in South Carolina, but he freed people because y'all don't want to listen. Okay, that's fine. We'll take it into our own hands.
Right.
And these people can't be mad that we've tried talking to you. We've tried using your systems. Y'all have steady ignored us. So you know what? Now that we brought it to violence, now that we brought it to a level of anger,
that's what's gonna come to.
Don't be upset. You can't be mad. My problem is this with the whole looting thing. I get the anger. I get the outrage. Because what people fail to realize is we're in Reconstruction right now. We're back in 1865. Donald Trump says, make America great again. America was greatest after Reconstruction. Although there was segregation, black people in the whole, we had our own banks. We had our own fucking economy. We had our own crops. We had our own businesses. We were flourishing. Right. We flourished, which is why I tell people all the time, I wish there still was segregation. Fuck your water fountain. Now give me a bottle of water.
Because, no.
because before integration, we shopped with ourselves. We had our own neighborhoods. It wasn't no Arabs or Koreans or anything in our neighborhoods. It was us.
That was Du Bois and Washington's main disagreement.
Yes, it was. It was. And and that's the crazy thing because I understand both sides, but at the same time, I'm a Du Bois. Not Du Bois. I'm a Du Bois guy. Because Du Bois was talking about us just being one as a whole. Booker T. Washington was we need to blend it together and all that. I might have it flip-flopped again. I'm drunk. I'm sorry.
No, you didn't, because Du Bois was a Garvey nut.
Okay, I was right. Okay. But along with that, what people are failing to realize too, along with, let's talk about today. We still fail to recognize the agitators. These white motherfuckers is coming out here writing Black Lives Matter on stuff when we didn't do it. And they're setting bricks out for us to throw at shit. There's the whole thing. It started with Marcus Garvey, the whole COINTELPRO, where they send someone out to infiltrate us, and we let them get in close. And the fucked up part of it is it's one of us. But if you look at all these lootings and everything, now they got those are white CIA and FBI agents out there posing as Antifa and everything else, putting these bricks and shit out there for us to throw and bust in the window so that they can see us running and doing all this looting and stuff. When they focus on that violence, but they don't look over here at this peaceful protest where people are actually using the law, the First Amendment of a peaceful protest. But they're going to focus on this violence because white America owns the fucking media. They'll rather see us being savages than to see us being real fucking citizens and people.
You know,
And that's the shit that bothers me.
you know the funny thing. The funny thing is that this time, more than any time I can think of, my life feels different. And I think it's the culmination of things, right? It's George Floyd, it's Ahmaud Arbery, it's Breonna Taylor, you know, all coming in succession, and especially in situations where you couldn't even justify, no matter what he did, you couldn't rationalize why he killed George Floyd. You couldn't rationalize at all why they murdered Breonna Taylor. There was white people didn't have those normal excuses. The you should just comply or you shouldn't commit a crime. They didn't have the normal excuses that they usually lean on. This is the other thing that really compounded it, right? If you look at the protests, what really hit home with white people is police started treating them like niggas. They started seeing themselves, their likeness being treated like niggas, especially when that 75-year-old man in Buffalo got his shit opened up by the cops getting pushed on the ground. And then just walk past. The decency you have to lack and the humanity you have to lack to walk past an elderly man who's leaking blood out of his ear, and you're law enforcement. The degree to which you have to lack empathy, that they saw their parent in that. They saw their grandparent in that. They saw themselves in that. To see white women getting shot in the face and shot in the eye with rubber bullets and shit like that too. They treated them like niggas too. You know what I'm saying? And so now it's personal for them too. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the best things about this. It's us. It's been us. They've been doing this to us. But nigga, it can be you too.
Yep.
It can be you too.
What you think, Ant?
Yeah, because we ain't heard from Ant. Ant, come on in, brother.
And we won't hit none of that gate shit.
You know, sorry for the. I mean, sorry for the late introduction. And I don't have no liquor. It's just been a very long day. But I'm gonna say a couple quotes. Y'all really done touched down on most of the the basic and the main things that I would say. But first, we're gonna say FUCK12, FUCK12. If y'all want to repeat it, you can. What does that say? Fuck 12. All right, cool. Second of all, Rick Ross said some of this in his lyrics. He was like, he glad Donald Trump became the president because you have to destroy before you elevate. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of look at that shit too when it comes to the looting. Uh, Last but not least, I'm gonna honor the Mook. And we're gonna follow the great Jeff Ford when he said, ain't gonna be no killing without killing. So I'm rocking with that too. I don't like the police. They suck. Majority of them suck. But you do have some good police officers, of course. But it's just like, when do these good police officers gang up like the white police officers do and really make a stand at this shit? You know what I'm saying? Because I kind of look at the situation. George Floyd, that shit is fucked up. That little Asian dude that you was talking about, bro, he needs to be deep fried because he's a bitch. I know you was holding the crowd off, but at the same time, I'm like this. All four of us, we the police, we got a motherfucker hemmed up. You know what I'm saying? Shawn ain't telling us he got a vendetta with this dude that's on the floor, but we turn around and I see Shawn damn near killing him. You putting all our life in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, bro, like chill. Or let me go over there and check this supposed to be my partner. When them damn police officers be like buddies and patrol officers and shit, that's their partner and all that. It's like they done their pledge together. So they supposed to be on some ride or die shit. So it's kind of like, how can you call somebody your brother or your friend if you can't even check this motherfucker when they doing wrong? He knew that shit was bogus. He's supposed to go over there and push him off. I'm like, nah, you tripping. During the protest, it was one time, it was some officers, they was beating up on a white dude. The dude had his knee on the motherfucker neck, and he pushed him off. And he said something to him like, nah, bro, shit, this really the reason we out here getting this overtime, cause of shit like this move. He did that to him. So um I just don't. I do know some good cops down here in Dallas. I know some in Chicago, but other than that, they all kind of whack. And it's like we've all had police encounters, at a very young age, that shit is traumatizing. Where you just, I mean, I grew up in a nothing ass neighborhood. I love the town, but you know, the town is bad. How many times have I been walking back from the store from spending $1 getting 4 bags of chips, and the police pull up and I get hemmed up? You know what I'm saying? They doing an information card, and it's like, if you don't warn your kids about the police, they not gonna know shit about it. Like my mama wasn't warning me, like, you know, the police gonna do this, that, and the third. She didn't start warning me until after I done already had run-ins with them. Like, and I think that, you know, that ain't my mama fault, but this is fucked up by the police. So then when they come ask you some shit, let's say you outside, they pull you over because you black, they fucking with you. You don't know no better if you real green. The police, when they take your info, they have asked me for my social security number before, my date of birth, all this shit. And it took me, I never gave them that, but it took me a minute to understand that I really didn't have to tell them none of this. And what did that do? They taking information and putting us in gang files when you might not even be gang banging. You just outside over here. Okay. I grew up over there, but what if I was just visiting my grandma and I was from up north in a nicer neighborhood? Now I'm being thrown down with gang activity just because I'm walking to the store over here. I think that shit is real fucked up. I really do. And it's like the white officers, the Italians, all them different detectives and shit, they be knowing us. I've sat up and watched them talk shit to some of the guys. Like they told one of my homies a minute ago, we were still teenagers. He told me, he was like, "Yeah, bro, I saw you doing what you did. I saw that shooting that you did, and you know, I just didn't really feel like chasing you down. But next time, I'm gonna shoot you." He told him. He said, "Next time, I'm gonna shoot you." And he also told him, he was like, "Yeah, you know, we got handguns and stuff, but you know, they starting to train us with rifles now, so we get to keep these in the car. So you know, when you do the shit that y'all do, you know, and you far away, I can really get to snipe y'all down." Like we watching them say this shit, we laughing at their ass because we thinking it's a joke. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they telling us all this shit. I think that's fucked up. Okay. With all this rioting going on, let's piggyback to the Atlanta police that did that to them two students. Where they was from?
Spelman.
Spelman
That
and
was that
Morehouse and
Spelman.
Clark, Atlanta.
Yeah,
You see how the story how that went, if you don't know, is they was riding past, they just got off work, all this riding is going on. They was messing with some more black people. They let the window down like, "Officers, can they please just get in the car with us? We'll take them away." They said no. They keeps on riding. All these cops run up on the car and snatch them out the car and tased them, busted the windows out with the billy clubs. When they finally snatched the boy out, looked like he was damn near having a seizure. They flexed him. This little dude had to get 24 stitches because of that. That shit is
yeah,
wrong. And the people that did that to them, man, it's like y'all the fucking coons. When you look at that picture, man, it was like out of 8 officers that got fired down in Atlanta, it was like 6 of them was black. Why y'all doing this to y'all people, bro? That's what be killing me with these officers. It's like, okay, 6 dudes just got fired behind that.
Hmm.
So they didn't think they was wrong for that shit with all this shit that's going on. I think that's pretty foul. I don't like the fact
yeah.
that after they got fired, we started hearing about the Atlanta police not coming into work and not and calling off and shit
Mm-hmm.
because that's where what Shawn said, they badges of privilege. They know they do the fucked up
Facts.
shit because they know 9 times out of 10 they can't get charged for nothing.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a fucked up way of thinking. So a lot of the Atlanta police officers just wasn't going to work no more. That shit ain't cool. What's up with that? We don't have no type of explanation behind that. Okay, cool.
And
Let me piggyback on the looting. This is my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own. Me, I didn't give a fuck that shit was going on. I really didn't care, you know, because really that's what insurance is for. We pay all
mm,
this money in insurance, and if you run a real perfect line or you stay in your lane, you will never have to make an insurance claim, any of that. So that's free money we just giving away. Should
mm,
they have not touched black businesses? Yes, don't do that. You know, leave that shit alone. Tell this other shit up. This is how we talking. This is how we expressing ourselves. But I didn't get no fuck about them tearing none of the shit up in the town. Why?
mm,
Because they looking at it like, how you gonna tear up the stuff that's in our community? How's our babies gonna get diapers and milk, or how we gonna get bread and shit from the store? All that, the community shit. We didn't own none of that shit. But none
mm.
of that
Fact.
shit ours. Ain't no gas station nowhere from 55th to 51st for sure. None of them gas
Say it
stations
again.
is ours. None of them corner stores is ours. None of them restaurants is ours. I don't
No,
give a fuck.
no,
Fuck
no,
them.
no, no, no. You
A
are
box of
incorrect.
rice-a-roni, goddamn it. You go to
You are
Walmart, that
incorrect.
shit might be $1, a
You
You
dollar
are
hit,
79. You
you
carry
hit
your
a
ass to
key
the fucking
point.
corner store to get that same fucking box of rice-a-roni. That shit is $5.49.
You hit a
Man, the
key
fuck is
point.
that helping the community?
You
you
hit a
are
key point,
incorrect.
dog.
A roll
You
of
are
toilet tissue down there at 350. This same roll is $1 at Walmart. Like, man, they ain't fucking helping us. Tell this
Hmm.
shit up. I didn't give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying? So that was my partake on that.
and
Uh,
you are
the George
incorrect.
Floyd shit is definitely fucked up. There ain't no other way around it. All of them should be cooked. Dude worked with George Floyd, so that's a problem. Uh, and then a lot of people don't say nothing about it, but that fucking the dude that owned the store, that shit was fucked up.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody saying shit about him too. He the one called the
Nah,
police. He bogus.
yeah, he. Hey,
All
Hold
what's
because
so
he
on.
thought he was
crazy
Hold
trying
is
to
on. Hold
do some
on. Let me
fraudulent
touch on.
shit with
Let,
$20.
let me touch on
Everybody
something.
know how scam and go. If that's the case, if I got out the store and y'all ain't
charging
catch
to the
me,
game. You
game over
charging to
with.
the
They
game.
shouldn't have
Yeah,
been
you
fucking
charging
with
to
him.
the game. Yeah.
Hmm.
They
Now,
shouldn't have been fucking with him. He
now
got
hold
out the
on.
store.
And you are
Game over.
incorrect.
You
You
can't
are
you can't cook a
incorrect,
motherfucker on
brother.
some shit like that. They got him already.
And you
So
are correct.
they was wrong on every aspect, and it's so fucked up that when we watch that shit, the day we watched that happen, we didn't know till 3 days later that it was two other cops on the other side of the truck on
Yep.
this man's body. All
Yep.
that time we thought it was just the one
Act.
dude with his knee in his neck. So you
Yep.
had dudes on his legs and you had dudes in his stomach. Knee in this motherfucking damn. Knee in George Floyd down. That shit's so crazy, bro. That shit is fucked up.
I'm telling you,
That, that's that's
every
fucked
time.
up. And the Asian dude knew it wasn't just his partner. You know, it's three other dudes over here. That shit is wrong. And it's just
Now,
like when shit like that is going on, I wouldn't even been able to sit and watch that. I would have
Yep.
tried to
now,
while the Asian dude was watching them, they was people were starting to group up. I would have ran my ass on the other side of that motherfucking van and tried to tackle one of them, bro, to get him off that man's neck so he could at least breathe, lock us all up. Shit.
now,
Fuck it. At
and
least this man ain't finna sit here and die. I don't think it should have took all this going on after George Floyd, but this was just like enough is enough. We really had to watch this. Like while that shit was going on, bro, like for like 10 days, man, looking at social media was starting to become real depressing and like
Yep.
traumatizing. You know what I'm saying? Niggas PTSD was really kicking up. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That shit was fucked up.
now, can
That
I?
that, that shit was fucked up. So
May I chime
that's
in?
pretty much it
And
for me.
you are incorrect. You are
Damn,
incorrect, and I'm
I
gonna
can't
tell
hear
you
you.
where you are incorrect about the town. I live in the
Hey
town.
Sean, can you fix up?
I live on 52nd and Morgan. That is the town. For those that don't know what he's talking about, that is Motown. I
Man, I
live.
stay across the boulevard. We know what the town is, nigga.
No, 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 no. I'm talking about for the
It,
viewers. I'm
viewers.
talking about for the viewers.
Oh, I'm gonna say like
So
we stay tuned up there.
I live on 52nd and Morgan. I live in the heart of the town. And because you're in Dallas, you may not know, but these
The
niggas be
town
having
back at it again, huh?
fireworks. So,
Juneteenth.
they,
Plus.
say, they, they say Kevin Gates was out there.
it ain't even a fucking fork. Okay. So, like I said, and this is where you're wrong. Because the town is changing, brother. And I know you in Dallas, so you don't know. So on 51st in Halsted, there's a restaurant called the S2 Grill that is black owned.
That is
They,
all. Yeah, that's black on. Yeah.
they broke into there. If you go on 54th and Wentworth, there's a barber shop that is black owned. I know the dude that owns it and cuts hair in there. They busted into there, fucked his shop up. Also, there's a fitness center in that same plaza on 54th and Wentworth. The guy hadn't even opened yet. He was still getting his stuff in there and getting the weights and everything in there. Black owned. They fucked with black businesses. And I'm with you on that. That's where you draw the line. This one is the one that really hit my heart. If you go to Roseland, because I literally had my shirt on earlier, but I have a shirt that I got from Shawn. Matter of fact, everybody, hey, 111 West Boutique or Sean Antonio, check them
Gang
Shout
out.
out for
shit.
the plug.
Stop
Feel
it.
me?
It's the Buddy Rich. It's the Buddy Rich label. But I have a shirt that says Wild Hundreds versus everything on it because I grew up on 105th and Wentworth. That's where I'm from. I'm from the 5th Ward. GD to the world blow up. Excuse my language.
Unfortunately,
But that is what it is. And that is where I grew up. These motherfuckers tried to get into the goddamn old-fashioned donuts. Anybody from Roseland or around there knows old-fashioned donuts. That is black owned.
No touch zone.
And man, you don't touch that. And that's why I say, and these niggas with these fireworks. I'm about to go kick this shit over. I swear to God I am. But like I say, and I'm with you on the whole black owned thing, and that's what was pissing me off about the whole looting thing. I don't give a fuck about you fucking with these white people bitches, because like you said, insurance is a motherfucker. Let me explain something to you. Michigan Avenue right now is being rebuilt. The Nike factory is back open on Michigan Avenue. The salon's back open on Michigan Avenue. The place where my wife goes and gets her fucking vagina sugar, and that's open. Like,
sugar.
Vaughn, just for research. Just for research. Where does she go again? Just for research purposes. What was that part you ended up?
But it's natural. But it's natural.
You gotta be stopped, man.
They said the vagina sweet stuff.
Yeah, but it's natural. Instead of getting waxed, instead of using the normal they use a wax that's sugar based. And
you gotta
it comes off, and I'm gonna tell you right now, this shit's motherfucking magnificent. I ain't gonna lie to you. I love it when she gets sugar. But
hey, look.
But I'm just saying, like Ant said, insurance is a motherfucker, which is why I didn't care about those businesses. Like he said, getting touched. But for the fact that they fucked with black businesses is what pissed me the fuck off. Taylor Wright, anybody that grew up on the south side of Chicago knows Taylor Wright Cleaners. You know it. If it wasn't for the people in the area, and that man and his son, which is one of my frat brothers, was out there with weapons, they would have fucked his place over. That is my one issue, because again, it goes back to what I said earlier. We're in a period of reconstruction, and I really hope, and I'm gonna phase back to Chris Rock's Bigger and Blacker. I love black people. I hate niggas.
You know what? That's a good point.
And I really hope that these niggas that's out here don't set us back, because it's too many. Like you three brothers and plenty more. I really hope these niggas don't set us black people back with they fuck shit.
You know what? But that just shows the lack of organization. But you know what? I think it was necessary though. You know what I'm saying? Like I was.
It definitely was, Shawn.
When I put that post up saying that I don't support looters, I mean I don't support looters that's looting our shit. Run through them white people shit, because like I'm with Ant on the fact that we live in these neighborhoods. We don't own these bitches. When we long gone, you know what I'm saying? We don't own no property in them motherfuckers. Grandma might own a crib over there. We don't own many businesses. You know what I'm saying? And even like the store on 111, all that shit. Okay, it was our store, but we don't own the property. You know what I'm saying? We rented from some white motherfuckers who don't give a shit about that neighborhood. Burn that motherfucker down. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck. As long as y'all paying y'all rent money and got an insurance plan on y'all storefront, they don't get no fuck.
And that's the thing. It's some niggas that know you that's gonna honor your shit. But if for every one that know you, it's 100, it's 99 more that don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They just trying to hit a lick. And the thing is, the streets got to eat regardless. The streets is hungry. So when the streets is hungry, anything that look like dinner or even a snack, that shit gonna get devoured. You know what I'm saying? But my thing,
and with that being said, I'm gonna go back to what I was saying earlier about the looting. Well, I didn't say it, but it's what I've been thinking in my whole process. You gotta realize everybody that was looting, like you just said, it's that one dude in that crowd of 47, let's say 47, that know this is a black-owned business, and that's a good dude. That one dude can't stop the other 46 from busting into this shit. Even though he's saying it's black owned, stop. That 46 is trying to eat because you know how many of that 46s might have left that neighborhood? None of them. And then
Hey, and then
not only that, you got niggas from Roseland coming into Inglewood busting into shit. You got niggas from Inglewood coming into Roseland busting into shit.
What was you saying? What was you gonna say, Aunt?
isn't it just ironic that all this happened, you know what I'm saying, at a time where everybody is they hungriest. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We was just locked up, you know, for the pandemic and shit. You know, some people couldn't work, get no money, and then all this happened. And then, like y'all been saying, you know, previously, they putting bricks out here and bold as shit for us to break these stores down. Like, bro, the Nike store on 87th, the cottage, bro. I had homies that ran in there, same as family members. You know what I'm saying? And they said the police was right there watching them do it. Like, go on here, y'all have fun. You know what I'm saying?
Damn. Yeah, they tore that whole strip mall up. When I
Tore that motherfucker
they
up,
tore
man.
that whole strip. That's everything boarded up on that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
What's even crazy is the CEO from Target was like, he didn't see it was a problem with it. And he came out publicly and said that shit. Like, he said, man, look, hey, we got insurance for that shit, bro.
Right.
We got everybody, all these white people talking about some, nah. The CEO of this is my store. Bitch, I ran this franchise. I don't give no fuck about this shit. I'm gonna get it back and then some. Meanwhile, billionaire just got $500 additional billion in company. Like, that shit just be pissing me off, man.
Right.
Cause it's like look at this too. All right, so they towed the shit down in the area. Okay, now maybe we might get a fair chance at owning the shit over there. Cause maybe the people that had to go, the Arabs that had the shit, maybe they might be scared. Like, all right, what if this shit happen again? I don't want to rebuild over here. Let me move around. So then maybe some black people could get a chance to get the shit fairly. You know what I'm saying? As long as I can remember, I ain't never known no black people that had no businesses in the hood. And the people that did try to hide something, like the most, you know, brothers that end up getting they'll let us get in the hood is a car wash and a barbershop, maybe a little clothing store. Right there on 54th and Ashland, bro. It was like little storefronts right there. You know how many times stores have just alternated and
In and out
flipped right there
all
over
through
the
Ashland, even on 47.
yeah,
Revolving
over
door.
the years, bro. Yeah, on 47 too.
Shout
In,
out to
in
shout
which,
out to Gold Black.
yeah, in which we not even welcome on 47. If we really want to talk real, none of the
Man,
Stones are the GDs because they think the Rossars right there think every black person a Stone. Then you go up the street on 51st, every Mexican think every black dude is GD. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they don't even be wanting us in their areas. They got more. The Mexicans own more of their areas than we do. You are going to a little Mexican area in Chicago, bro. Everything you do in there is Hispanic. Mexican laundromat, taco spot, corn man each corner, a little marketplace. You feel me? Everything Mexican joint. We ain't got no shit like that. We ain't got no little black owned area where everything you do over there is black owned. We don't got that shit in Chicago, and it's fucked up.
so and Shawn, I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and I ask that we move to the next subject because we've literally been on this one for an hour. But
Okay.
and I wholeheartedly agree. I had a buddy from the army come, and his flight got held over. He was on his way to Germany, and I showed him Chicago. I showed him our side of the expressway, and because you know our side of the expressway. Then I took him over to the other side in Hyde Park. Two totally different worlds. Then I took him up north, where you have Ukrainian Village, you have Wicker Park, you have Logan Square. I took him to Humboldt Park. Anybody from Chicago knows you have white, Hispanic, because Humboldt Park is Puerto Ricans. Then I took him to Pilsen, where the Mexicans are. And then I showed him that not far from where I live, which is 51st, I live on 52nd and Morgan. I took him across 51st to Ashland, which is where the Hispanics start to pick up. Because right there on 51st and Ashland, you have Fernandez Auto Glass.
Yeah, been there.
If you
Say
go,
that.
if you start going north, you start seeing the pawn shops and the little motherfucking furniture places, and all of their signs are "Como estas," because that's the only Spanish I know.
On game.
And I showed him. I say, hey, you see how they put us in this little block? But hold on. Before we left, I took him to where I grew up. I took him to Roseland. I showed him what 103rd and Wentworth was like. And I showed him that area. I showed him Pullman. I say, this is the black area. They redlined us. I showed him Peel Hill. And for those that don't know why Peel Hill is called Peel Hill, it's because when they were redlining black people, they gave us the Chatham area, but they also gave us further east. But the further east was all the doctors and the lawyers, which is why it's called Peel Hill.
So what's that like 87 toward like Cottage and shit?
Well, yep, past Cottage going toward Jeffrey.
Oh, okay.
When you get Stony Island, all that, that's Peel Hill.
I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah. And that's why they gave that to us. And a lot of people don't understand that. And that's why I say, because we got redlined. Because again, I'm a historian. People fail to realize Wabash downtown from Roosevelt to fucking Madison was black owned. We had banks, we had businesses. Wabash was a black owned strip from Madison to Roosevelt. Downtown was black owned. And for all the people that may be listening now, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna go back here with my family and I'm gonna fall off of this and I'm gonna let y'all do what y'all do tonight. Black people in Chicago. There's one black bank in Chicago.
Seaway.
Called Liberty Financial.
No, Seaway black owned too.
No. Stop, Ant, because it's not.
It's not?
No. And that's what I was going to get to. Liberty Financial is the only black-owned bank in Chicago.
Damn.
The other one is the other Liberty Bank, I believe, I want to say is in North Carolina or South Carolina, one of them two, I forget. But Liberty Bank is the only bank in Chicago that is black owned. Seaway National Bank is not black owned. Seaway National Bank bought by a dude from Texas in 2017.
Yep.
Bank
That's awesome. It used to be. It was black owned. It was like 10 years ago. It was, but not now.
Yeah. In 2017, Seaway National Bank folded. A dude from Texas bought it, but now it's owned by, I want to say, Eric Mershad or something like that from South Carolina, who is a white man. But the thing about him and his company, what they do is they take banks and they give back to the minority areas. They give back to Hispanics and blacks. But it is not black owned. Seaway National Bank is not black owned
Anymore.
There's
so
no
look, just to put a
no problem putting your money in Seaway because the white people that own it, they actually do give back to minority neighborhoods, which is the only good thing about them. But that's that white guilt. It's the white guilt that they have that gives back to the black neighborhoods. But Seaway National Bank is not owned by black people anymore.
Hey, just to put a bow on the topic, right? Because we be going all the way left, then go right, then go back to the center. One of the biggest issues with one of y'all mentioned, I think it was you, Ant, about cops. Sometimes you run into black cops that will treat you worse than white cops will treat you.
On game, make an example out of us. Yep. Bro.
My first arrest was a black cop at Morgan Park. Slammed me on my face on the concrete. I mean, and I will admit we was about to move on from niggas, but we hadn't done anything yet. You know what I'm saying? Slammed me on my face on the concrete. You know what I'm saying? Took me right there to 111, the little Morgan Park station, whatever the case may be. The other thing is, if you think about this, that situation with George Floyd, not even situation with George Floyd. If you think about the police as a gang, right? If the police were a gang,
Shawn,
we keep hearing about all these. We keep hearing about all these good officers, right? Think about the moles, the folks, whatever. It don't matter if you were a good GD, a good BD, a good Blackstone, or whatever. When they drop that RICO, nigga, you getting indicted too.
Yep.
It don't matter. You don't get the benefit of being one of the good ones. Nigga, you part of it. That's what RICO is about. So why wouldn't that same thought process apply to the police? We keep hearing about these good officers, but at some point it's like, Von, you said it. Why won't all the good officers come together and say something before now about the bad apples we keep hearing about? At some point, it's like, damn, nigga, I can't tell one from the other.
And Shawn, I'm about to go, but before I go, I'm gonna answer that question for you. You are correct because I'm gonna explain, and I'm gonna explain this from motherfucking IDOC, Illinois Department of Corrections, motherfucking correctional officer Phillips standpoint. It is as simple as this: we are a gang, just as the alphas, the kappas, the qs, the omegas. As much as I hate to say this, the ios, they're a gang. Because if you fight one, you're fighting all of us. And when I worked at the Department of, when I worked at Stateville, I worked at one of the worst prisons in fucking America. I worked at Stateville. We are a gang. If I see an inmate attacking you, I'm going to come help you. Now, the difference, and to answer your question, Shawn, about the good officer standing up, this is the whole thing. Everyone doesn't have the testicular fortitude or the integrity to stand up and say, "Stop, you fucked up." I worked mainly in the segregation unit at Stateville, which was called I House. It's no longer active, but I worked mainly there. But I worked on the 311 shift, and I worked in what they called Bravo House or B House. In 311, country fed ass white boys from Southern Illinois that hated black people. So I always got the worst two galleries, which was the top two, 10 and 8. And I didn't care about that because I stayed on them galleries because I had a rapport with the fucking inmates. So when it came to some fuck shit on them other three galleries, 6, 4, and 2, because it was 2, 4, 6, and 8. When it came to some fuck shit on other times, yes, I'm gonna make sure you as an officer can get home to your family. And I pulled motherfuckers off and held motherfuckers back and helped dudes. But when that shit was all said and done, you best believe, because of who I am and how I am, you the worst motherfucker in the world. And I read them motherfuckers they rights. And they got pissed off at me because I would sit there and talk shit about them and tell them that I felt like they was bullied in high school, which is why they need to have this fucking power and authority over people that are quote unquote lesser than them. Some of the smartest motherfuckers I've ever met have been inmates.
For real.
Like real shit. Like it's motherfuckers, some of the smartest motherfuckers I've ever met is inmates. But back to what I was saying. When it comes to your loyalty, because you have to think about it upon this aspect. Whether this motherfucker is racist or whether this white cop is racist or not. I know at the end of the day, I need to be able to trust the fact that he has my back to get me home, as well as I have his back to get him home. Now, with that comes like my man, and I'm gonna use this guy for his name, but it was an LA cop that he had a female, he had a white female, partner. He felt she overstepped a boundary doing an arrest when they executed a warrant. They bust into this house. When he stopped her, they had to do the apprehension or whatever. He stopped her, and he went and filed his paperwork and put a formal complaint against her. When he put that formal complaint against her, Like 2 months later, maybe 3, he got fired. Then he made a whole fucking manifesto and went on a killing spree of fucking cops because he knew they were fucked up. I'm not gonna lie to you when I say this. I was on that same shit with them dudes that I worked at prison, and I didn't come up with a manifesto, but I told all of them, send me to the catwalk. I don't want to be down here with you racist motherfuckers because I know y'all fucked up, and I'm not gonna be involved in the bullshit that y'all in. And that's where it comes with good cops, the bad cops. You can be a good black cop or a good cop period and see something fucked up. You can say something to stop it, which is what I was saying with the Filipino dude. He could have easily turned around like, "Hey man, get your knee off his neck," and turn back around and still guard it. With me, because of how I was raised and who I am, no, you're not about to do that. At the same time, I'm telling this white motherfucker he's not about to do some shit. I was grabbing a black motherfucker and cuffing him. Sit your ass down and chill the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna handle these motherfuckers, but Nick, you know you fucked up too at the same time. Which goes, and I'm gonna leave with this. At the end of the day, when it comes to those cops, all about survival. And that's what it boils down to. Now, whether or not that cop, the quote unquote good cop, chooses to file that formal complaint and have some type of integrity, because that's what it comes down to. It's the integrity of those cops, and file a formal complaint against that cop that he know was fucked up. Y'all are both safe. So now, fuck you, dude. They have to have that integrity to be able to say, fuck you. You
But you
know
know
you was wrong.
what?
Let me write.
I feel like the integrity can only be shown during the event. If you don't, once again, if we transpose this into it being a rape, you can't wait until after the fact until y'all all get booked and being like, man, I disagree with him raping her. Nigga, you had the duty to intervene. You know what I'm saying? It don't show balls or courage to do it after the fact.
I agree with you. And see, with that, with the when it comes to the survival part, I I can't agree with you on the integrity of the rape thing. Now, with the other situation you posed, I agree with you because he could easily turned his head, stopped, because no one in that crowd was coming toward them or fucking with them. But when it
Because
comes to the
everybody was
whole,
still
like you
like,
said, with the
whoa, what's
rape,
going on?
it's as simple as this. Let's say, and I'm gonna use your analogy. If me and you are together, I'm on lookout, and and you raping a bitch, and motherfuckers start to come toward us. Now I have to grab you and pull you off so we can run and get the fuck away from this mob that's coming. But when it comes to just subduing a dude and we're holding him down, okay, y'all are holding him down. I can hold this crowd off. They're not trying to attack us. It becomes fight or flight. And that's the difference in the situation. Because even though those people were coming toward him with George Floyd and he was standing there watching, it's still his job to hold that post. Now, here's the thing. He could have easily went and filed a formal complaint against all 3 of them dudes, but he chose not to. And that is and after you said what you said earlier, which is what made my wheels start spinning. And you were correct about that. Like, hey, you know what? This motherfucker didn't file no complaint or nothing or say nothing. He corroborated those dudes' stories. So you know what? He's more ate up than a bag of dicks in a gay bar the same way they were. And but when it comes to the whole rape thing, let's say again, when we'll flip flop. If I'm raping a bitch, and excuse me, ladies, for whoever watches this, but I'm sorry. If I'm raping a woman and you stand there watching guard, and now it's 5 dudes coming at you. Now your survival is attacked. So the whole plan is for us to fall back so we both survive. There's a difference in the scenarios.
Right.
And
The difference.
again, like I say, now after we get away from that and we go back to the station and we start writing reports, now, yes, you can write in there that I was more fucked up than a football bat. But we both survive. It's about living. It's about survival. And that's the part of what people don't understand. And I get it. And it's like it tears me apart because I'm on both sides of the fence because of my experience.
I think too, when you talk about survival, that gets to what niggas be saying. Shit, niggas in the streets, man. Niggas is fearless, man. But it seems like the cops are shook more than anybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, real talk. We gotta wrap this topic up though.
Yeah, and Shawn, I'm gonna leave on this because, like I was saying, I was about to hop off because I'm gonna go back here with the rest of the fam. This is the one that we didn't speak about, and again, people are gonna see me as the coon on it. Rayshard Brooks. They should have shot his ass. Now, here's the flip side of me saying Rayshard Brooks should have gotten shot. One, they had his ID. They knew who he was. They could have just let the motherfucker ran. Because guess what? We can come get you tomorrow, Tuesday, next day after that. It don't matter. Two, they knew he was inebriated from jump. So they could have just been like, you know what? We'll catch him later. Put a warrant out for him. Three, and this is where it comes. That man had the cops fucking taser and was resisting his arrest. And again, he had the taser. People fail to realize when your adrenaline starts pumping and you're in that situation, 2 shots have been fired off from that taser. I'm not counting them shots from that taser. All I know is he has a weapon. They should have shot his ass.
So here's the problem though. Here's the problem with that premise, right? So in terms of tasers, right? Tasers are, I guess they're right now. They're widely renowned to be non-lethal or less lethal or whatever. They're not lethal, right? So tasers, right? If tasers are safe enough, let's just say safe for lack of a better term. If tasers are safe enough to be used on humans, on the people who pay the officers' salaries, if tasers are acceptable enough to be used on a human being, why then would they be considered an imminent threat just because some nigga that's running is haphazardly shooting one backwards, right?
Okay.
No human has died, or we hadn't seen humans die from being tased. We see people get hit with the taser and stay alive. We see that all the time. So it wasn't an imminent threat.
Shawn, I got you on it, but this is the thing. You've taken my taser. What is my next level of force? It is my motherfucking firearm.
I don't see this is why I push back on that, right? Because that wouldn't fly with us. I would be sitting in jail right now. Any one of us would be sitting in jail right now if we did that. Let's just say if we happen to have a taser and we got into a tussle, somebody took our taser, they ran and shot the taser at this dude, and then Buddy, felt like he wanted to shoot. You know what I'm saying? Still, any citizen would be arrested for murder. For same situations. If it was 2 citizens, take the police out of it. If it was 2 citizens, if I blow a nigga down because he got my taser or he got my pocket knife and he running and he throw my knife at me or whatever, throw my nigga star at me, his ass would go to jail because I would go to jail for killing him still.
Well, look, let me.
I get you on that.
Let me say this too, though.
Go ahead.
So when they shot him, though, I understand he was wilding and shit, whatever. But when they shot him, Then they shoot him in his back. Then they shoot him from the back.
Yep, they did.
Okay, so here's the thing.
So
Okay,
I thought,
and this is what I want y'all to do. Go look at that entire video again. So this is the whole thing with law enforcement, and this is where a lot of civilians and a lot of citizens don't understand.
Okay.
There is what's called an escalation of force that protects peace officers and the military. With that escalation of force, it goes from my hands, what used to be just the billy club, to your weapon, to your firearm. He had that officer's taser. That officer's next level of escalation of force was his firearm to stop that dude.
I'm gonna tell you why I totally disagree.
Hold on. Let me finish. And if you look here again, like I said, go to the caveat of the first things I said. They knew that dude was drunk. They had that dude's ID. They knew his location, so they could have easily let him ran off. The civilian me understands those 2 points. The officer / military me understands the other side. I tell everybody all the time, I'm a relativist. I understand both sides of the point.
Right, but the other side is that, like you said, they could have let it run. They could have just said, you know what, we're gonna catch you on the rebound. We got all this information.
Hold on, let me finish. And like I said, as a black man, I understand the anger and the fucking bullshit that we deal with. So it makes us say, fuck that other side, and come up with all these other reasons of why they're fucking wrong. And we don't look at why they're right.
I disagree on that. No, I disagree on that. Nah, hold on. No, take all that out. Take all that out of the situation. Take this as an isolated situation in a vacuum.
Okay.
The officer still was wrong. Period. Take everything out. Put this in a vacuum. In this situation, if we're told that a taser is non-lethal, and this nigga is drunkenly running away, shooting backwards, not even looking at what he's shooting at. If he's running away, and this is a non-lethal weapon,
how you still pop him up?
No way you had to pop him in the back twice. There's no way.
Though. Like we don't get.
And this is okay. And this is what I ask you all. Have you ever been in that situation?
100%.
To where you were firing a weapon at someone, or they were firing whether non-lethal, a lethal, or any other type of weapon at you, where your safety is in danger. And again, it goes back to what I said, your next level of escalation of force. And unless you've been in that situation, you don't understand. And Shawn, I'm going to put it to you like this. Go look on YouTube. And this is your LB, not your LB, but this is a dude you made, where he kills it on January 4th.
I saw it.
You saw it?
Uh-huh.
So you know what I mean, right?
Yep.
Exactly. I'm worried about not just my safety, but my partner's safety. And I want you to look at it from that aspect.
I did. It's not that. I'm talking about the fact that these are situations. Like Buddy had a knife. Buddy had a knife and close quarters. This is a situation where a nigga is running away and he has a non-lethal weapon. That's a different situation. In that situation, the dude was close quarters with his partner and had a knife.
Guess what? Because guess what, Shawn? It's not different. You know why? And I'm gonna tell you why. He was 10 to 15 feet away from that person's partner with that knife doing this when those shots were fired. Guess what? This dude has a taser, although it's been fired off twice. And this is what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. When you're in that mindset, you're not thinking about how many shots have been fired.
Your audio.
you hear me now? When you're
I don't know what the,
in that mindset,
let me change it.
It sound like a robot. Yo, Ant. Now what's hold on, Ant.
Is
You was
that
muted.
man?
Yeah. You back. You
Oh,
good?
okay. Yeah, I can't argue with bro, man.
So
That
I
that's
can't
that's
hear
that's
anything.
yeah, that shit. I don't get no fuck
Hold
what
on.
aspect you look at that shit. 12 didn't have to shoot him if he
Yeah.
was running
Yeah, I
away.
know. I'm yeah, I'm gonna get to you.
On any aspect with police or just civilian shooting. Okay, look at this. If you have a concealed carry, you know what I'm saying, a concealed carry weapon, and a motherfucker come at you, you can only shoot them down.
hey,
You
can
know what
y'all
I'm
hear me
saying?
now?
It's still crackling. It's still crackling.
Yeah. I can hear you, Vaughn.
For a minute. All right. What you saying? That
You can even with a concealed carry, you can only shoot a person down if they pressing towards you, like as a threat. If they go away and you still walk a motherfucker down, shoot them in their back and shit like that, you going to jail and you got to conceal the carry. And I don't care what they did to you. That's just the way of the law with the pipes. You shoot somebody in the back, you are wrong. It don't matter because they no longer pose the threat. So it was just like, okay, they shot him in his back. That's already strike one, strike two. Y'all police officers, I know y'all do train shooting. Like, you feel me? They're supposed to be the best shooters, you know what I'm saying, on the streets next to the, military. So if that's the case, why y'all didn't do like what we used to call them attempt murders? Why you ain't pop him in his leg? You know what I'm saying? Why you ain't pop him in his ass? You could have shot him somewhere else to sit him down. If it had to be that. You know what I'm saying? If it had to be that. So I don't know. And then it's like it was two of y'all. Why is y'all hiring cops? I thought they had to do like PT and like take physical tests and shit. Like they be getting cops that ain't even strong, ain't got a piece of
right.
definition in their body. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Ain't strong, ain't athletic, ain't that nothing. How many fat, bogus ass police officers you done
Right.
met?
Right.
Of course, these motherfuckers ain't trying to tussle and wrestle with nobody, especially not no black motherfucker. That's niggas. We be stupid athletic for no reason, just because
Right.
it's in our genes, type shit. So you think they trying to wrestle with a motherfucker? No, that's the first thing they trying to do is kill a motherfucker.
Right.
That's on the police fault too.
Right. Yeah. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that a taser is okay to
Just
use.
give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
All right. You can't say a taser. You can't say a taser is good to use against citizens, but then it becomes a lethal weapon just because it's used. Buddy is like grunt and shooting backwards with taser backwards. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, really?
I don't even know how tasers work. I didn't even know. I thought they wasn't shots or pellets. I thought that tasers, you got like the little tasers that females having on their purse.
Mhm.
You cut it on and you hold it. It makes the little shock, but you gotta hit a motherfucker with it.
I think they think theirs shoots like a thing out. Like a,
Oh,
I
okay.
think if I'm not incorrect, I believe theirs is like that because you can see like a little string or cord, like some wire connected to it or some shit like that. So I
Okay,
think
and
theirs
look,
is different.
and, and see, so if it's like that, you have to add on the fact I know probation officers out here in Dallas. You feel me? Part of their training is because they always used to complain about it. All of them got to at least get hit with the taser.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
You
They
feel
so
me?
good.
So
Yep.
if you had to get hit with the taser to survive, like why y'all couldn't take that little taser shot then that he was shooting backwards? So you
Exactly.
weren't athletic enough to duck the little taser bullet.
Right. Right.
And if you did get hit, you wasn't strong enough to take that, but you wearing this honorable badge. Like, man, get the fuck
Right.
out.
Right.
Fuck out of it.
I'm gonna switch gears real quick. Right. This is a totally different topic. But I want this footage. All right. So
All right.
y'all know who B Simone is?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So for everybody who might watch this, right? So B Simone, as y'all know, said that she used to be homeless. She's a hustler. I guess she's a millionaire now. She said that she don't want a dude who works a 9 to 5 because she don't feel like he could understand her hustle and things like that. How y'all feel about that whole premise?
I I feel like this. I got two notions with it. The first notion is she's entitled to have her type. You know what I'm saying? She could like what she like. That's fine. That's cool. That's what I'm sticking to. But it comes to a point where I feel like she said this dumb shit out of ignorance. You know what I'm saying? You entitled to what you like, but like I still feel like you coming at it on an ignorant standpoint because it's just like who the fuck put this in your brain because you're an entrepreneur? You are the person that you know what I'm saying is trapping at 3 in the morning or whatever. That's your line of business. Who is that to say that a 9 to 5 motherfucker can't handle you? Who do you think is cutting the checks to niggas like Nick Cannon them for wilding out? Who you think is paying these artists? You know what I'm saying? It's big time executives that got 9 to 5 jobs that's giving out these advances. Like when an artist get their first contract, that shit is an advance. They be having to pay that money back. It's a 9 to 5 motherfucker that's giving them that. That's giving that out. So I feel like when she said it, she didn't really. She might try to twist it now, but I don't feel like she was saying it like, okay, a motherfucker not gonna match my hustle. I think she was saying it as if motherfuckers ain't getting no money, cause it's like I got nothing but love for business owners. I want everybody to do their thing. But it's like sometimes you have to be real with shit too. It might be a motherfucker that's selling some boutique clothes, some shit that you getting over from Taiwan, and now you got your own business. You ain't really making that much from that. But now a 9 to 5 motherfucker can't afford you because you selling a few furry flip-flops and some leggings. Like, baby, no, I ain't like that shit. I wasn't feeling it. You know what I'm saying? She's entitled to her type, but I just feel like her ignorance was displayed with the shit that she said.
You know what's funny? I didn't think about it that way. The second way, in terms of ignorance, I didn't even think about that, but that makes sense. It's like it that I understand a person being like, hey, this is my type. Some people don't understand the person hustling. So for me, it ain't got where she lost me a little bit is that it ain't got nothing to do with a person having a 9 to 5. It has everything to do with a person who has a 9 to 5 mindset or a person who ain't no hustler. You know what I'm saying? Because you can have a 9 to 5 and hustle like anybody else. Because a bunch of us started our businesses while we still had a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't got nothing to do with having a 9 to 5. It's she should have been saying she don't want nobody who don't have no hustle or who don't understand the motherfucker hustle. That's different. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
hustlers, man, got all types of shit cracking while they got that 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't understand that because I mean, like we said, it's executives with the 9 to 5 shit. You know what I'm saying? So look at who was that? Was that Christine? I think Christina Milian. It was one of these little cute people that got a little money. They left them an artist, and then they got with a motherfucking executive that was making. Was it Rihanna? It was one of them. They was messing with a motherfucker that was kind of on their level, like an artist or an entertainer or something. And
Nah,
then they
Rihanna got
upped the
that
ante.
bag.
They jumped to a fucking billionaire.
Mariah Carey did. Mariah
Bingo.
Carey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah, I knew
now,
it was one
now
of them.
Rihanna not far from it though, cause she
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
that
Rihanna.
at 600-700 million.
Right.
See, that's what I'm saying. And you don't. They jump up to a motherfucker. You don't even know their name.
Facts. That's real.
You don't. The only way you would know their name is if you done did some type of business with them, or you know they the CEO of this business. Other
Yep.
than that, you know how many fucking millionaires and billionaires and trillionaires that's out here that you wouldn't even know their name. Prime example. I'm a nigga. Well, I want the money. I don't need the fame. What if we become millionaires? The whole world ain't finna know us unless we on some extra shit.
Yep. Yep. Real talk.
So you still knocking a 9 to 5, baby? Like I'm an executive. I'm a CEO. I make so much money, bitch. I could pay you to go your ass to sleep to leave that fucking boutique alone.
Yep. That's real.
So yeah, that was me on this shit. What y'all got on it, man? Or Mark, what you got on it?
Oh man, I couldn't even hear the question, bro.
So basically, the chick B Simone said that
Who?
you know,
I know what Shorty said.
oh yeah,
She goofy as hell.
yeah, right.
Let me start there. Shorty goofy as hell.
You don't want no nigga with that work a 9 to 5.
But I think she was out of context when she said that. But you know, we live in a social media era,
Mm-hmm.
and they take what they want to take. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna rephrase that. I'm hoping she was out of context, but that's what she was saying. That she goofy as hell. What I thought she was saying was that now that she's on that level and that she has worked to get on that level, that she wants a guy who also equally worked to get on that level. And you know what I mean. And that's pretty much. I mean, that's what I'm hoping she said, because that's what I would want. I mean, I didn't work my ass off to still be talking about the same shit in the hood. You know what I mean? Like, that don't even make sense. And so, like you just want somebody that you equally yoke with to chase the
Yeah.
bag together.
Right.
Like,
So
it's just as simple as that. But if Shorty's talking about she wouldn't talk to a 9 to 5, it really be the 9 to 5 guys that treat you right.
right.
You know what I mean? Because like the other guy, like my thing is, you might have a girl who you put on, you know what I mean, did everything right for, and she didn't have the bag and all that stuff. And then you put her in the right position and stuff like that. You supported her and all that stuff. And then once she got there, she, you know what I mean, Shorty wasn't on shit, because now she feel like, okay, I really don't need you no more. And vice versa for the men. That's, you know what I mean, that's why that whole, you know what I mean, when they get on, they leave your ass for a white girl type shit came about. That's what Kanye was saying.
Right.
And so I just think that people just want to be in a position. If I feel like in the last 5 years, and if actually, what is this, 2020? One person can make the argument that in the last 7 to 10 years, Mark Harris has gone crazy.
Right.
Right? Like I remember what it was like to just trying to figure it out. But in the last 10 years, the last 7 to 10 years or so, I figured it out and I've been going crazy. Like, you know what I mean? And so why would I want a chick who wouldn't want to even attempt at trying to figure it out, who just want to come help and spend all my money? I don't need no help spending my money. I think I said in the last podcast. That didn't make sense. I do a very good job. Of spending it myself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need no one to help me.
Shit.
That's what I'm saying. That don't even make sense. But if you have a girl, or let me rephrase, if you have a woman who understands, because you've explained to her where you've been, what you did, you know what I mean, to take you out of where you've been, and you know what I mean, and how you got to where you are, but more importantly, where you could see yourself going from here. And she's not even trying to follow that same pattern, you know what I mean, for herself.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have nothing else to discuss.
Exactly.
It's just as simple as that.
Ain't nothing worse than a lazy person. Well, not even lazy, a person with no ambition. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get drove by people who just like, I'm a VP of this, I'm this and that. Like, but somebody, it's cool. But what else are you gonna do with your money? Our job is to make this motherfucking money make more money. You know what I'm saying? Because at any given day, I don't like somebody having the power to be like, you know, they can come in tomorrow and have a bad day and give me a pink slip. You know what I'm saying? So I always was planning my exit strategy, like always. You know what I mean? So
And see,
I understand what you're saying, and I understand what she was saying. It's about the mindset. It's about leveling up and changing your standards. I get that. She just did that shit wrong.
yeah,
Right.
it's definitely a mindset. It's a lifestyle she want. Okay, prime example, shit. If you don't really know me personally, if you ain't one of the guys, family, nothing like that, people don't really know what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Real talk, because I don't broadcast it, I don't post it. You might catch a motherfucker here and there, but for the most part, you don't know what the fuck I do. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
but if you base this shit off my lifestyle, I probably act like a entrepreneur or a business owner or somebody that works for themselves. Yes, I do those things, but like you wouldn't think that I have a 9 to 5, but I do. So don't say it's you ain't got time for a 9 to 5. Just say you like a certain lifestyle. Then you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or
And then, like, what's a 9 to 5? Like she never really
yeah,
put it in context, because there are a lot of millionaires who work 9 to 5.
yeah.
Literally,
That's
like,
what I was saying. So it's
it's a
like
schedule. Like, it's literally a schedule. Like, I'm gonna
yeah, and
wake
then
up at 8 and I'm done. I'm leaving the office at 5. But
yeah, because I was gonna say
should
so
that
like
change? You know what I mean? That don't even make sense.
yeah. What you saying, bitch? Like 8 hours? Is
I
that
ain't
9
told
to
what you
5 is 8
saying,
hours?
bitch.
Huh? Like, is that what you saying? Like, you don't want nobody to work 8 hours a day?
Because
Like, I don't even
I
work eight
work
hours
10
a
to
day.
12 hours a day. Fuck yeah.
Right.
I'm at work right now on this podcast.
After this, I got more work to do.
That's
You know
what I'm saying. I'm at work
Yeah.
right now on the podcast.
Hey, what that boy Fab say is water wet. It's more money to get there.
That's a fact, man. Yo, so the last topic is this, man. Violence, right, at the crib. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how people are fascinated with Chicago. I mean, everywhere I go, people are fascinated. Like the blacks, Hispanics out here on the East Coast, absolutely fascinated with Chicago. Like they you can tell, like they try to pattern the way they talk, the way they rap, everything after Chicago now. But
Everything.
when you see the white people and the media, they're obsessed with Chicago. Oh, what about Chicago? Every time something happens, what about the crime in Chicago? What about the crime in Chicago? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess us, to a large degree, we get desensitized to it. You know what I'm saying? We just act accordingly.
Right.
But how do y'all feel, man? What do y'all think? First off, based on now compared to when y'all were young, back when the big guys were out and all that type of stuff, and there was some structure. Do y'all think it's worse now or it was worse then?
I think it was worse. I think it's worse now because if the right big homie came and hollered at me, I'm gonna take heed to it and I'm gonna chill out. You could talk to some of these motherfuckers now 3, 4, 5 times, and then soon as you leave them, they popping a pill and they doing a drill. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I think it's definitely worse now. Um, Damn, I had another good ass point. Chicago is always gonna be Chicago, and I hate to say it like that. So it's like when y'all talk about the violence and the black on black crime and all that, every other shit that goes on, every other statistical category, do your best to kind of leave Chicago out of it. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Don't even add Chicago to the stats because Chicago is fucked up and that shit ain't never gonna change. You know what I'm saying? It just don't look like it. But it's like when two things. Black on black crime. When the black is fucked up, I don't agree with it. Cool. But it's like when shit does happen, like I've said before, you not ain't nobody dying in Chicago because they were black. You know what I'm saying? The black person, you not smoking you a motherfucker because of the color of his skin. Motherfucker getting smoked because you did something to my family, money, jealousy, greed, hate, whatever. But it's not because the color of your skin. That's one. For two, if you do the crime, you fuck around, you might do the time. And if you do the time, they nailing your ass. Like you getting nailed. Like it's not like a slap on the wrist. You getting nailed. How many all us on the phone right now got somebody that's in jail that we ain't gonna never see again?
Mhm. Yep.
So it's fucked up, but don't bring up Chicago violence. It's fucked up. And then I hate when so many people speak on the shit that ain't from Chicago,
Yep.
ain't never been to Chicago, don't plan on going. Cause I mean, Chicago a concrete jungle, bro. That shit ain't for everybody. It
Yep.
ain't for visiting. It ain't for kicking
Straight
it for
out
everybody.
the jungle.
Chicago, not bro. Like I live in Dallas now. When I go to Chicago, a day or two before that, I have to get mentally prepared for that shit. I
Yep.
have to move different. I have to know that I can't be out here bullshitting. I got
Yep.
that thing on me,
Yep.
24/7, cocked and loaded. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? I know I can't be out here goofy capping, being out in flip flops. Like I have to get
Yep.
mentally prepared for that shit.
Yep.
You know,
Whole mindset.
and a lot of people don't grow up like that.
Yep. It does feel like you entering. It feels like, not to sound like that, but it does feel like you entering the war zone. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It does. You got to be on point. Like I just left there. I got back yesterday or something like that. Your mindset, the first thing you do when you get there, I'm going to grab a pistol. That's first thing. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? If I'm driving, that pipe coming with me. You know what I'm saying? Without
mm-hmm,
a question. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
But the mindset is so different. Like out here in New Jersey, they think it's rough. I mean, no diss to Jersey, but comparatively speaking, it's safe as hell. You know what I'm saying? I can sit in the car here. I can go for walks. I can do normal shit that you got to be on point with at the crib. You ain't just sitting around in no car like that. You know what I'm saying? If so, you on point. You know what I'm saying? Niggas leaking.
A lot of other places, bro, they don't see you and smell like Chicago motherfuckers can smell a motherfucker ain't from Chicago.
Yep.
Other cities and states, they don't be on that shit, bro. They ain't like, oh, you ain't from here. I'm finna rob your ass. So I'm finna take whatever the fuck you got because you not from here. Other cities and states ain't like that, bro. They not like that.
Nah, man.
I
Chicago. It's the
I go to the
mindset.
gas station and leave my car running.
Yep, I do too. All the time. All the time.
Doors
I did
unlocked.
it today. Like when I went to 3 different places, I left the car running. 3 different places.
See?
You know what I'm saying? Never at the
I
crib.
think it's it's a mixture of everything. I think because you hear all this stuff, like yes, it happens everywhere, but I think it's also a cultural relativism type thing. Like for instance, you want to talk about food. Yeah, we grew up on Harris. We might think Harris is busting, but to the outside world, Harris might be trash because they didn't grow up eating on that shit. They didn't know what it took for me to ask my mom for $5 just so I can get, you know what I mean, a piece of puff meal. You know what I mean? Nobody know what that ever felt like. And there are other places that, you know what I mean, like you go to LA, Roscoe's is fucking trash. I don't care nobody say. But those people grew up off that.
Super trash.
They ready to die for that shit, bro, because they grew up. That's how they grew up. That's what they grew up eating. You know what I mean? And when you think
They gave
about
me
it in New
scrambled
York,
eggs with cheese and onions. I
and
said, when the fuck does eggs come with
no,
onions?
but in New York, and New York is the same thing with the bodegas, bro. It's just like you get fried rice with everything, bro. If you've
Right.
never been in New York and you look at that shit, you like, what? No, I ain't order that, son. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that shit be wild. It's just all about that. And so at the end of the day, when you go when you go to a new place based off where you grew up at, it sort of created the foundation for how to move around the world. And so, prime example, and you from Motown. G. Imagine if you was from Philly, you'd be the same person. You just be from Philly. You would know how to move. You would move in Chicago, you'd be asking the same questions that everybody who come to Chicago asks. But you know you just not going because you from North Philly and you from east side of DC, or you from Brooklyn. And it's just all the same thing. Because when you go to LA, I know for a full-fledged fact, there's a dope-ass Jamaican spot in a blood-oriented territory. I'm saying gonna go there because the food is busting, but based off where I'm from, I'm gonna call in. Yo, yo, you
Right.
said the food will be ordered. You said the food will be ready in 10 minutes. It's been 20. What's the deal? I
Hey,
can't just
look,
post up in the car like that. You know what I mean? I need
prime
to make sure
example.
my shit is just ready on time. And so I think just to bring it back full circle for Shawn's question, these new niggas, man, they don't want shit, bro. We all know that shit, bro. Like, it's no way in the world, I mean, Larry Hoover could get out right now, try to put some type of order in and play. Them new niggas, man, they got all type of subgroups now. You got YouTube groups now. You got rap tube. You got rap groups now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so much disorganization in this city, bro. Like, who am I to tell them? Like, even if I was a big homie, no matter what I fought for, you know what I mean, to put in place, who am I to tell a man that now runs the block? You know what I mean? Regardless of whether that man is feeding the block or not. But who am I to tell that man that he's doing it wrong? Because maybe how I feel, you know what I mean, the guidelines that I once felt, but you know they followed, that shit no longer exists, man. That shit just no longer exists anymore, bro. And so for anybody to get out or try to come and try to restore order there, I fear for their lives because, man, these shorties, man, they not what you're not putting money in my pocket. I'm a rapper. I pop cars. I do all this other shit. Like, I know how to go get the bag, and I don't need to sell drugs to do it no more.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I done no longer. And because, Shawn, you forget, these niggas don't want to sell them no more, bro. They want to use them. And so, like,
Facts.
you know what I mean? Like, hey, bro, look, hey, it's hard for me to tell a motherfucker that want to go crack cars for $100K just to wear, you know what I mean, Louis, Gucci, and Dior and all this other goof ass shit that they got out high now, and you know what I mean, and riding on whatever. That hey, you gotta give back to the block. Who is you, fam?
What was you about to say, Ant?
Now I was gonna say he totally right about that. Like prime example, how he was saying like we just know how to move. Like bro, it's a new soul food spot, bussin'. Good reviews, bro. It's on 50th and Halsted. I think they say it's called S2 Express Grill. I heard
Yeah,
they
I've been
pumping
over
some
there.
of
I
the
mean,
best
I like the
food.
lamb chops. I be ordering the lamb chops.
See, I heard that's some of the best food
I ain't
in the
gonna say all
land
that
right
though,
now.
bro.
And
I ain't
see,
gonna
a
say all
nigga
that.
like me, we can't even go over there because of the war we got over there. That's 50. That's on 50 strong shit. Like
Yeah,
they catch one of us over there, they gonna murder us, bro. Like, so what a nigga like me want to do? Cause I want that. A bitch come to see me. Hey, I'm finna put this order in. Stop and go grab that food for me.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Bring that. I'm gonna feed you too. You know what I'm saying? We got
Mhm.
to move. We got to move like that. So he's totally right. And then two, niggas don't be wanting to sell drugs. That's why drug dealers don't be liking scammers. You
Mhm.
feel me? Because you get you a bow, you gotta you gotta bag your shit up. You pay 15, get you 32, but that's taking like 2-3 days. What if motherfuckers ain't got no money to buy no weed? Well, you got a nigga
That
that'll
part.
run up 4-5 thousand on a wire transfer in fucking 30 minutes. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yep.
Exactly.
Hell yeah, drug dealers can't stand scammers. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard, like you said, you ain't putting no money in my pocket. You're not feeding me. How can I listen to you?
You know the challenge with that? I'm you know what's crazy? I agree with y'all, but then on the other end, it's when you see when you just see 1,000 niggas at one time converge on the park for a session, and you know that the toughest one in the group, I don't care how many niggas he murdered, if he in violation, they gonna stump his shit in, and he better not do shit.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
it's a different thing. The
True.
only way them niggas would be able to reclaim that is they will have to come out and they have to start murdering these little niggas and make everybody fall in line. It wouldn't be no
Yeah.
choice. It wouldn't be just going to talk to them on some big homie shit. You would have to murder them niggas, whoever the toughest niggas are on that block, and make everybody else fall in line. Because you ain't gonna reason with them niggas. You just ain't. It's
That's
gonna
true.
be some shootouts. It's gonna be some shootouts. You would have to have name thousands of niggas falling in line as soldiers, and they'll have to realize that they're at war with thousands of niggas. But they still, you gonna have to shoot them niggas because them niggas ain't going back. They ain't going. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I
But
agree. I agree totally. And
man,
it's just so crazy because even sometimes the niggas that's the ultimate killers in the hood, without no gun, they really hoes.
100%.
Some of these niggas, bro, ain't never had a fight.
Yep.
Look.
Don't know that a fight is you giving a hit and you taking a hit. They don't even know the basic concepts of fighting. So yeah, a lot of that shit is fucked up.
It's crazy, man. Like, and I'm sure we know these types of niggas. I know niggas who were so soft to your point, was so soft, but they hung around killers long enough, and eventually they became killers. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, man, that nigga is so soft and was so scary. But you can become something that you really weren't meant to be. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
once them guns get taken away and you in that jam, you know, the whole come out again. You know what I'm saying? Niggas run
Mm-hmm.
down on you and you can't do shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's man. I don't know, but you know, I guess to my thoughts on the Chicago thing in terms of the violence. Violence is just man, it's proximal. Whatever your proximity is, man. And these the motherfuckers you interact with the most. Now, one tricky thing is that I this is why I get pissed off at black women, right? Some black women, like this black chick I know. Hopefully, one day she'll see this. She started this group about uh protecting black women or something like that. They got this thing they say that black women are the most unprotected people on the planet. And my whole thing is like nobody is more in danger than black men. Nobody. Period. White people hate us, niggas, Arabs, anybody, Asians who come in the hood, we ain't gonna be like, nigga, what the fuck you doing over here? We ain't gonna tell no Asians or no Arabs, nigga, you need a hall pass to come in this neighborhood.
Hey, that
Man,
part.
real talk. They start businesses in our hood. Niggas ain't taxing them like that. You know what I'm saying? But but let a nigga do that shit. Motherfucker want to serve out of your shit. Motherfuckers want to try to press niggas. The Hispanics in Chicago, the Mexicans, you know what I'm saying? With them, it's always been racial profiling. It's always been like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas don't come around and try to go to Humble Park, the Puerto Ricans, you know what I'm saying?
But Humble Park didn't got so gentrified, G. It's my
Right,
cousin don't live over there. Like it's
right.
we
But
me
in
and Tiff
terms
was just watching a
You
movie
said
about this
you
shit.
said it's got gentrified.
Oh, it's big gentrified, G.
oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna tell you so crazy.
with white people.
A buddy of mine, she came in. She Puerto Rican. She came in town. We went to University of Michigan together. She came in town. She was like, "Mark, I missed your birthday. I'm gonna take you out to dinner." She took me out to dinner. She was like, "Just pick the spot." I picked this spot a little bit outside of Humble Park, and Italian spot. It's been there for a while, but nevertheless, we go in there. Food was good. That was dope. We started walking around. She was like, "Oh, like I didn't realize how close he was to home." I say, "I forgot you was from Humble Park." She was like, "I was like, I'm not gonna be walking around." She was like, "Oh no, boo. Like this, it's like don't nobody live over here no more." We walked all through that joint, like literally walked. Like that would have never happened, bro. Never happened. That shit crazy. They got Amazon packages. Niggas just leave Amazon packages out there. Not never.
That's crazy, man. But a lot of things have to happen. And let's be clear, Chicago is like that because of the disinvestment in the hood. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
that because they purposely, people like University of Chicago or entities like that, purposely buy up the property, let it become downtrodden, let it become vacant lots to drive down the value of the neighborhood, to drive up the crime in the neighborhood, to get more people out so they can acquire more land, so they can stretch Hyde Park further south and further west. That's their whole goal. They get these money through programs. They're not trying to fix the hood or nothing like that. They trying to raise their income, their revenue, and their stronghold on the south side. And so a lot of these institutions do that, man. So then it becomes up to us, like, what the fuck are we doing to make it safer or to invest in these communities? Like Ann said, shit, okay, shit, they burn these people's shit down. Shit, we need to be in a position to buy that shit. You know,
Yeah.
And the water.
buy back the block. Like that's a real thing. Niggas need to be in that position. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them. Let them go somewhere else. Shit, what are we doing in our hoods?
Real talk.
Man, and real talk. That's why when shit like that looting happened, boy, you better have some soldiers out there with them pipes. Nigga, don't run in this motherfucker. Cause that's all niggas understand in them situations. Cause they hungry, justifiably hungry. You know what I'm saying? But nah, you ain't not this one today, my nigga. They
Hmm.
let you know I'll run in that bitch with you, but you ain't running in this. No. Shit. Nah,
Hey, I
yeah, man.
mean,
Yeah.
that's usually how it go, bro. But you know how that shit go, man. You got a lot of people that it's a culture. I mean, I fall victimized to it, but I look at it as like it's hard to bad blood a block. It's excuse me. It's hard to buy back the block if the block don't want to change neither. And so, like as an entrepreneur, yeah, of course, I looked at it. I literally just had this whole conversation. I said the building that we grew up in, one of the buildings that we grew up in on 57 and Morgan in Inglewood. All I had to do was pay taxes on the building, and they would literally give it back to us. I went up there and I was like, "How much is the taxes?" It's 22,000. So I spent $22,000 on champagne. And so it's like I could literally go back, but what is the investment in that community? Like that neighborhood has changed so much. It's like not even for the better. Like it's not even gentrified. It's just gotten worse. And so it's like my ROI doesn't even come back at this point. So now I'm like, how
Right.
do you tell a person who wanna like I'm not rich. I'm not Kanye West. I can't just go buy my childhood crib just because I can. You know what I mean? Like that. Like the moment Kanye West decided he wanted to renovate that area, that whole neighborhood went up $1 million.
What neighborhood did he rent?
It's the
What
South
neighborhood?
Shore. That was already
Oh.
going up in value. But the moment he just had like, yo, I'm about to throw some money into this, he ain't gonna what? Come on, that's Dante's house, man. Like, nigga, come on, man. Like, you gotta be kidding me. That whole area just went up a whole nother 1-2 million. But not that. I mean, it's hard because my thing is, if I was to go get the building, put $100,000 into the building, who I'm gonna rent it to? Who gonna want to come there? How
You
am I
know
make
what?
my money back?
I think for me, more important than buying cribs and stuff like that is owning the businesses in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. Like owning the businesses. You know what I'm saying? The commerce, all that shit. The weed sales,
Mhm.
we control all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Everything, nigga, legal and illegal, we control that shit. You know what I'm saying? The housing, that's something different, but nah, we need to be spending our money with each other though. Real
Real
talk.
talk.
Man, the fact that they coming in with these dispensaries and they getting a legal bag off of the shit that we niggas got records for real.
Blows the fuck out of me.
It blows me too, man. It's like niggas is still involved in the system because of those petty weed crimes to this day. That's the shit that got them into the system. You know what I'm saying? And so all the subsequent shit really is blown out of proportion, all because of this thing that's kind of legal now. You know what I'm saying? It's no reason why people's records shouldn't be expunged of that shit now that it's legal. You know what I'm saying? If I could walk into a dispensary and legally get some weed, the fuck this nigga still got a record for? You know what I'm saying? That's
Real
just
talk.
crazy.
Hey,
All that shit should be thrown out completely.
100%. What you say,
Yeah.
Mark?
nah, I'm agreeing with everything. Like, I mean, that shit just fucked up, bro. But all
Hey,
you
that
can do,
that that did make a lot of sense, bro. You like, why would I buy back a building on the block, put 100K into it, make it up real nice, but who the fuck finna want to live over there?
like, and
With
then
all,
like
with all,
it's like, but here's the thing though, like if I was like once again, if I had the bag, like bag, yeah, I would buy it and put my people in there because they don't have to pay me. I'm not looking for a return on investment now. But at this point in my life, I am. And that's the only way I could get to that point so I can start to buy back the block. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
You got to
mhm.
start making money at some point, bro. People have made money off us too long.
Mhm.
And so it's like I'm all down for, well, I want to make money off myself. Like if I can make money off myself, I don't need someone to make money off me. I would rather make money off me and my
Right.
family and then use that to put it back into my family. And then we go crazy. But
Right.
you know, when you try to get the family member, it be your own family, bro. It be your own family. When you try to say like that whole like we don't live in that family where you have 15 different cousins and everybody went to cars and this, that, and third, and you tell them, hey, let's put up $10,000 a piece. No, I don't fucking live in that household. And
Yeah,
so
at all.
exactly. And so realistically, if I tell my family, like, yo, just put up 5,000, they gonna look at me like you got me fucked up.
Hmm.
We just don't live in that. We don't live in that household no more. I mean, ever. I've never lived in that household. So my job now is to create it, and the only way I create it is to tell my nieces and nephews and show them and get them the game and show them. But I got to continue to push forward myself, and I got to make it myself. People lose translation in what they in the meaning of success. Just because I went to a few expensive schools, I got a few expensive degrees. They don't even know what success is, bro. They just see that I'm different than them.
You know what's funny, Mark? I saw this meme the other day. It said, I'm paraphrasing pretty much. It said, if you didn't come from a rich family, make sure a rich family comes from you.
Facts.
Yeah,
I
I
never
I'm
feel
not
you.
hearing anything I disagree with. First of all, I even counter you that quote. Lil Wayne said it best, and you can take it how you want to take it, but I only take it one way. The man said, I gotta die with money because I wasn't born with it. And so at the end of the day, I have to leave. I have to leave my people in a better position than when I was brought into it.
That's a fact. That's a fact, and that's exactly where I am with it, man. It's about creating that generational wealth. It's about creating these things that our kids can walk into and be proud because their names are on it, or they have ownership in it, or they can walk behind the counter and do what they want to do because it's theirs. You know what I'm saying? And just the pride that comes with that, man. Like everybody and their kids should experience that. because my family is just like that, like yours. Me and my cousin Trenton, we the only ones who graduated from college still to this day.
Exactly. To
You
this
know,
day.
to this day, two of us. He the only one in my family with a master's. I'm working on mine right now. You know what I'm saying? To this
Mm-hmm.
day, in 2020, two people with a college degree in my whole family. You know what I'm saying? And
Hey,
not
but look, that
only
goes.
he was it, but I'm listening. Okay.
But look, that jumps into. I know we be throwing these wiffle balls, but it's like that's what goes into the generational thing, and it's like we are starting to break it, but it's still gonna take time because okay, just how you said, it's only two of y'all got degrees. I can count on how many of my family got degrees. I know I got one, Lori got one, Sydney got one, EV got one. Um, that's really about the four I can name that got bachelors. My OG got an associate. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just like the generations and the times have changed because like my OG and them generation, they wasn't into like investing in shit. You know what I'm saying? And making more money. They was just cool with like really living the American fucking dream. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Go to work for 30, 40 years, break your body down, retire just so you could get
That
one
part.
fourth of what you was working for. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a little social security on top of that and just hush you up until you check out. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to work for retirement like that's some type of big ordeal.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's what their generation was like. But now we slowly but surely starting to change that. I feel like Shawn, your generation was probably the first wave of that, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, to switch that up, which was my sister age, you know what I'm saying, the 10 years prior to us, like
Yeah.
the early 1980 babies, 78 on down. That's when the generation started to change. Like niggas like, nah, fuck that. I need more out of life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
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 Than just this retirement shit. I love my OG to death, but she don't be tripping on no big plays. And my mama is very talented to me. You know what I'm saying? Can cook her ass off. It's a lot of different things my OG could do. Like she could do a catering service. You know what I'm saying? She could decorate shit. My OG was the bomb in makeup, but she never invested in that. Like my mama could have been a famous makeup artist. She was doing people makeup for prom and the shit is flawless, but like she was just, rather go to work and, provide, make sure the kids straight. Don't get me wrong, my OG made miracles. She always made shit happen. She the reason I crossed Fred. I thought after all that beating, I wasn't even gonna have no money. You know what I'm saying? And she hit me with, hey, look in your account, and
She
it,
gonna always come through. That's what OG's supposed to do.
yeah, so I don't knock it, but times is starting to change. So it's just like, okay, you don't want to do that. I'm gonna just get this bag and then I'm gonna just throw you something.
Mhm.
It's cool.
Yep. That's real talk, man. It's man, y'all hit the nail on the head though with that, man. It's
Mm-hmm.
man, but we just gotta build, man. That American dream, man, is a nightmare. They
On
stole
what?
a nightmare.
That shit is whack, bro.
They stole us a nightmare. Real talk. Because if you think about it, like you said, they weren't into investing because they were taught to save your money. You know what I'm saying? Save for a rainy day. And you put the money in the bank, and effectively, if your money is sitting in the bank, you losing money. You know what I'm saying? Effectively. If your money
Yeah.
ain't multiplying, then you're effectively losing money.
Right.
Just like they was screaming to us go to college. But nowadays you have people that's 18, 19, ain't even thinking about a piece of college, popping out, no student debt. You feel
Uh-huh.
me? And really opening up businesses and having your credit in order. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. That's
Like,
that's that's way more important.
yeah, they ain't
Gotta
preaching
lower
that go to
that body
college shit.
count, man.
Yeah, like I said, I went to school cool. I enjoyed it. I got into a lot of bitches. Made some great brothers, good lifetime friends. But like, did I really need to accumulate all that debt? Hell no, they don't teach you the shit that you need to be taught in college. They they
Yep.
don't, they don't
Yep.
teach you that shit. I could say college saved my life because it stopped me from being in the streets.
Yep. That's it.
That
That's the
That
value.
part.
yeah.
That's the
That part.
value. But those student loans, they factor into your debt to income ratio. So
Mm-hmm.
now it keeps you from getting some of the business loans and things like that that you would have been eligible for otherwise. So
Mm-hmm.
a nigga coming out of prison that makes the same amount as you can be in a better position to get a business loan than you. My cousin been in prison for 22 years, and hopefully, God willing, inshallah, he gonna get out this year, and he could have better credit than me when he gets out because his debt to income ratio will be lower. You know,
Yep.
22 years, and
That's
that's
crazy, and
already
that's
gave me the
crazy.
grade.
That's crazy as hell when you think about that shit. That it's like that. You know, one thing that used to blow me out the school after I got out of college. That was one of the biggest things for me. That was like very discouraging and pissing me off. Like you apply for a job that you damn near overqualified for, but they always hit you with the work experience.
Yeah,
Damn. So me spending 4 5 years in college wasn't
hated
good
that.
enough for work experience.
Man, I hated that.
That used to
Yeah,
Depends. I
blow me.
mean, but with the internship, the way that shit works out, bro.
But I just
It
feel
just
like,
depends
bro,
on the field. It's all about the
yeah,
field. It's all
definitely
about the field.
depends on the field.
Yeah.
Definitely depends on the field.
But if
right.
you
But they
ask me,
telling you this shit to get a job that's only paying $15 an hour, you gotta have 3 years of work experience. What?
Yep, yep.
he talking about Drake. Look,
Right.
hey,
Like
but
really?
nah, but I hear you, bro. If there's anybody that hears it's me, I mean, I think knowing what I knew now, and Shawn, where I came from, and you obviously where I came from, and so it's like had I known what I knew now, there's no way in the world I would want to fucking school to do the same shit I do now. I taught
Yep.
myself how to do all of this shit, literally all of this shit. Now, if I had to take out loans and all that shit, if I was in like student debt and shit like that, then
Yep.
I'd be pissed off. But I tell all the students, man, when I give talks, man, I'm like, yo, unless college is fucking paid for, man, if you want to do what I do, man, just open up a fucking computer and teach yourself how to do this shit and just keep going. Cause this shit, cause college is still one of some of the best 4 or 5 years you'll ever have in your life.
Yep.
If it's on somebody else's dime and you ain't got to give it back.
Mhm.
But if you gotta pay that shit, make it make sense for you. That's all I'm saying. Have the cost benefit match your ambition. Because if you go in there, I mean, obviously there's no getting away around law school and medical school. That's irrelevant. But what I'm saying is, if you go to school and you want to be an artist, I think that's the most dumbest shit I've ever heard. You
Yeah.
could just do that shit yourself and figure out ways to market yourself. Unless you're going to school for business.
Think about it. The generation before us didn't have the wherewithal or the knowledge base to tell us any of this. They didn't. You know what I'm saying? Because we are the first generation the first student loan generation. We are that generation. You know what I'm saying? My generation, y'all generation, we are it. They didn't have it. Now we can say, hey, look, don't do this.
Hey, don't do that, homie.
Nigga, don't do it.
let me tell you one of the first things that was real fucked up to me. So when it was time for you to apply for financial aid in high school, I don't know if Mark, y'all had to do this, but what they hit us with was, fill out your FAFSA, stay after school or come at 4 o'clock and we gonna have the counselors teach you how to fill out your FAFSA for college. We had black counselors up in there, bro. Not one of them pulled a motherfucker to the side and said, hey, look, okay, your mama makes a nice amount of money. Don't put her on your FAFSA. Your daddy is on a fixed income. Put him on there so you could get more grants and shit for school. They never told a motherfucker that. So I put my OG on there. We ain't getting shit. I think I got a Pell Grant maybe 1 or 2 semesters for 5 years I was in the grant.
Because I remember your OG had to apply for the what is it, the Parent Plus?
The Parent Plus loan.
Yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah.
Blowing me, bro.
I remember that shit.
Blowing me. And then one of the counselors, she went to Grambling. One of them that was in there, not the older one, not Dr. Trice. Dr. Trice, you see this, you my dog. You put me in Grambling. But it was another counselor in there. I feel like her name was Mrs. Wade or something. She ain't telling motherfucker none of that. None of that. That could have helped me that could have helped me out so much more and had me in such a less debt than what the fuck is going on right now.
Right.
The other thing to go along with that is the fact that a lot of these schools, high schools, have these white guidance counselors, and they never even direct people towards black colleges, ever.
See?
You know what I'm saying? So now you go into these majority schools where you don't fit in, they culturally, and it's gonna cost you a bigger bag for the same information.
Yeah.
If you want to go to a majority school, okay, cool, but they make it seem as if that's the only option. You know what I'm saying?
Because sometimes that shit still don't mean nothing. Like, okay, I give y'all one of my a quick story. I never wanted to go to Grambling. My dream school was University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana. Fighting a lot in there. I used to love D. Brown and Darren Williams and them. Salty when they missed the national championship. I was trying to go there to study engineering. You know, the only reason I didn't get a chance to go there was because my high school had a gang banging book and they had all us in there. So when the counselor saw this shit, they like, nah, we don't want this type of,
Hey,
behavior in
gang
our
member.
school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that was so fucked up. Then you fast forward 2-3 years later, my little cousin went there. He done pledged Newt, one of the most intelligent black men that went through that campus. My cousin got a damn degree in aerospace engineering.
Mm.
Tell me what he do. He plays a
Uh,
guitar.
Damn.
did he
He
have to pay for
plays a
school?
guitar because that's what he loves to do. He's not. He's doing that and performing. That motherfucker ain't even touching his degree.
No, I hear no, but here's the thing though. I think if you're gonna say it like that, then there are many instances where you use your skill set to get you the finances to fund your passion.
Mm.
Because I know, and I'm not saying you should go all the way out here, but I know one of my boys. He went to medical school. He just was smart as fuck, bro. He went to medical school, got an anesthesiologist degree, just so he could buy his own rap studio, so he could produce music.
Mm.
But
Dope.
I'm not saying you go all the way to medical school
Damn.
to do that. But
That's wild.
you just use. Sometimes you got to just do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. Yeah.
But you know the funny thing, I think in instances like that, the smart play would be to have your own practice of something, or to have your own business or whatever going on, and make sure your money is making money while you going off doing your
Yeah,
passion.
absolutely.
That's the responsible thing to do.
Man, I just be trying to put myself in a position to win. So because I know once I win, once I crack the code on how to officially win, man, I already know I'm gonna be straight.
Oh, and shout out to the triple overtime work you do for Law Pocket, man. That shit gonna turn a lot of the gang into millionaires. Shout out to Jordan Gaither.
Oh man, shit, yeah, man. We trying to make it happen, man. It's tough. That
Law
shit.
Pocket on the way, man. It's gonna be helping out a lot of the community, man, for sure.
Man, that's dope. That's dope, man. I love that y'all did that, man. That's dope.
Man, we trying to make it all happen, man. You know, we got a lot of stuff in the you know what I mean. We throw a lot of that shit in the backwood and roll it up, man. So that shit is just
Right.
smooth.
Mm-hmm.
And so just to kind of wrap up a little this kind of portion of it, just want y'all opinions. So the store in 111, our lease is up, and so I want to convert it to something else. I'm thinking about two different things. Either a cafe type thing that says like, the smoothies and coffee type shit, but like healthy shit too, vegan, vegetarian type shit or something like that. Or if not a cafe, then a place that's like a nail shop slash, massage place, like something like that. Because I'm tired of people running to the Asians to get massages and get their
Right,
needs.
right, right.
You know
I
what I'm
like
saying?
the
That'll be
Yeah.
dope, and especially y'all got the lock on the storefront, the lease. Like
Right.
that's the biggest key right there. So you first of all, you're gonna help the community out, and second of all, you got it on lock. So whatever you feel like is gonna really help the community the most, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because then you gonna be providing jobs for black people too.
That's real.
So
That's real.
I'm with all that. If I just had to pick one out the two, I would pick the nail salon, and
Yeah, I think
the massaging.
yeah, I think that generates the most revenue.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
it encourages black owned business. And like
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, like because there are a lot of black tech. What's so crazy is my sister. She started just doing this shit because she got tired of going to them, and she started learning how to do this shit, and she's getting a lot better. Like no cap, like shorty ass. She got motherfuckers coming over to the crib paying for it.
That's real.
And so
Dope.
I'm like, yo, you should probably go get like certified so you can actually do it.
Yep.
But that'd be our problem. We don't want to get the actual paperwork
Yep.
to go get the shit. A lot of us are talented as hell. You know
Yeah.
that shit. But motherfucker don't want to go get the paperwork necessary so you can make it official.
Now, I do wish that it was something that we could do where we can promote healthier eating in the hood. Me and one of my little chicks was talking about that. Like
That's hard to
we,
do because it's a
it
food desert in our neighborhood, and
yeah.
eating
No,
healthy is expensive as fuck.
that's what I was gonna get to. You just ate me up on the shit. It's just the fact that the I ain't start eating healthy till 9. I'm finna almost be 30. You know what I'm saying? But there is never no good healthy options in the hood. You got to ride all the way out to get the good shit. They just start putting Whole Foods somewhere close by.
Right.
Like Shorty from a neighborhood where she grew up with a neighborhood where you'll have to ride 2 hours just to get to a Whole Foods to get fresh food. But they putting all this cheap ass produce and food in our neighborhood. That shit is like dog food, man.
Yep.
And that's the shit that's killing us. You got people that's eating ribs and pork bacon and all that shit every single day on top of Lowry seasoning.
Yep.
Then you wonder
You
why the
talking about
time
Lawry
you
seasoning.
get 45, your blood pressure through the roof. You having headaches every single day.
Yep. And everything got high fructose corn syrup in it, including the bread.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Full,
saying?
full, full of syrup, liquid calories. They ain't promoting to you drink water, drink a lot of it. They ain't telling you this type of shit.
I think
So
I think here's the thing. I think a lot of stuff can still be done when you promote health. I think you could promote health without how do you say stigmatizing cultural food,
okay.
because when we if you really want to get technical, a lot of the food that black people make, I mean, yeah, it's good and all this stuff. Yeah, sometimes I mean you can argue it's unhealthy to a certain extent, but there's a cultural I mean, you know what I mean, background to that food that we just don't want to dismiss. You know what I mean? Like you can probably make it healthier, but we shouldn't go to the level of like, oh, we shouldn't be eating I mean, obviously like, you know what I mean, like a lot of pork and stuff like that, but like greens and all that stuff, like you can make those type of like side dishes healthier. But the backstory to a lot of that soul food shit, if we remove that, that's like taking a piece of our heritage away. And so we can't really dismiss it. All we should do is probably try to make it healthier. But you
I
can
I
do
I,
That's
you
why.
I
can
can
do a lot
I
of
can
shit
agree
in
with that. I
moderation
can
though,
agree with that.
bro. You can eat bro, I eat a lot of salad. Bro, don't nobody drink more water than me. I buy cases of Fiji water every 2 weeks, bro. And so like you know what I mean? Like I drink a lot of water, but I do a lot of shit in moderation. Like it might be I'm not gonna drink I'm not gonna drink scotch today. I might do a glass of wine as you just saw me pour it up. Like you know what I mean? Like it's all about you knowing your body, you wanting to change it, and you know what I mean, and you still being in the position to enjoy your life because you don't want to make eating healthy a job,
Yeah.
working out a job. You know what I mean? You should enjoy working out and being, you know what I mean? You should enjoy being healthy. When I think when people have advertised being health conscious and you know what I mean and stuff like that, they have made it in a way that's dismissive of everything else. If you're not
Mhm.
doing this, you
Yep.
against this. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And I just don't think that's the case.
And that's the thing, man. Like I feel a social responsibility towards each type of idea. Like the fact that we don't have nail shops and things like that. I mean, I think in Chicago, you got I know of less than 10 across the city. That don't mean I know every single one, but to my knowledge, it ain't. I don't even know 10 of them. Uh, then the other thing with the
Um,
food desert, like right there on 111 at Western, you got Ain't She Sweet on 99. They only open from 11 to 6, which is dumbass hours, stupid hours. But then right there on 111, it ain't nothing healthy, man. Ain't
yeah,
nothing.
bro.
You get the biggest burger you want. You get Polishes. Ain't shit healthy over there, man. Ain't definitely ain't no vegan restaurant. Nothing like
Right.
that. You vegan, you hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I
This is
Yeah,
true story.
I just want the ours. You know, the exclusivity of everything doesn't have to be non-mutual, and so
right.
like I just think that you could do all thing. I've sat there and watched my grandfather. He's 90 years old. This nigga still eats soul food. You know what I mean? Like obviously, a lot of stuff has changed with the way we produce food now. But like this man, like he'll eat a salad and then like a week later he'll eat some ribs. But you're not gonna tell this man lived his life. Like he's 90 years old, went to fucking Vietnam War and did all these things. Like people still feel like they need to live their life. I just don't think that you have to substitute things or you have to compromise who you are, or you have to do all these things to still live a healthy lifestyle. Because I done seen niggas who work out every day get fucking hit with a slug the next day. Versus, you know what I mean? Because you can't devote one part of your life to just being healthy and you know what I mean. I tell Chris this all the time. I have to tell nephew this shit. I'm like, bro, how you approach the gym and how you approach this healthy lifestyle, the discipline that you've approached it with, and the ambition and the persistence needs to be endured for through every aspect of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You like because I guarantee you, if you approach that with your career, your shit will change. You will change. Your whole joint will jump off the porch. But if you're just putting it towards one aspect of your life, you're not gonna see the residual effects of everything else.
Yep.
You gotta feel all buckets. You can't just, you know.
I respect that a lot. I respect that a lot.
That's crazy, man. But those are things we got to promote. We got to promote healthy living, like which goes to the diet, which goes to man, drinking the water, something that's simple, like water. Water is the key to every diet. It's like it's the key to every diet or lifestyle change, whatever you want to call it, man. It's water. What's your thing?
Or or even if like a motherfucker could just give you some type of healthy tip, like you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times losing weight ain't just about you hitting the gym. Of course, we say it's about your diet. Like motherfucker tell you drink enough water, cut down on bread and starch, your carbs. You know what I'm saying? Watch how
Yeah.
much weight you will lose. Pop you a multivitamin out the day. Just certain little daily regimens. You feel me? You ain't gotta change from eating no baked mac and cheese and sweet potatoes. You know what I'm saying? You can still bang that shit too, but don't
Right.
eat it every day because you got to think about this shit too when you eating bad. I used to think about this shit. You might wake up, especially if you moving fast. You wake up, you go to McDonald's, get you a for people that eat swine, get you a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle. That's already you some pork on top of some bread. Then you fuck
Right.
around, go to lunch. You might pull up to Wendy's or something, get you a 4 for 4. That goes some old breakfast on top of fried food. Then okay, you don't feel like cooking or nothing. Ah man, I'm gonna just fuck around and grab this pizza. You know what I'm saying? Grease on top of bread. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker done put damage on your heart and done added some weight.
And it's
And
all processed, and it all got a bunch of hidden sugar.
yeah, and you eating this shit. This is college living. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yep.
This is how a college student is really eating. You know, of course, your body can handle more of it when you're young, but it's just like, you know, if somebody could tell you this type of shit, maybe you could do a little better early on, you know?
But how do you mitigate that when you have a group of individuals who, you know what I mean, who find the luxury of convenience, you know what I mean, because the
Mm-hmm.
lack of access, you know what I mean, to health resources and more importantly to finances. I know I can't go for kale, but I can go 4 to feed my family.
True.
You know
True.
what I mean?
You know what?
That's hard, bro. It's very difficult.
But somebody we have to start it. Like if you think about it, right? A lot of these industries in the United States are subsidized. Like you know what I'm saying? Things dealing with corn and things like that is readily available because these industries are subsidized. So why can't we as black people, the things we need to institutionalize and put together mentoring programs, after school programs, independent schools where we control all that shit. In those same categories, you gotta have a bucket of money to promote healthy living. You know what I'm saying? To the point where when you got this bucket of money, you can subsidize that such that those things are readily available. Why can't I go through the drive-thru and get vegan food? Why do I have to wait 30 minutes for it or something like that? You got to make it readily available, affordable. You know what I'm saying? And that has to be a contrived, deliberate effort. It ain't
Yeah.
gonna happen tomorrow, but if it's a deliberate effort, then it can happen.
I agree.
I'm not hearing anything I disagree with.
Yeah, man. It's just, but it all starts with us. It all starts with being mindful of it and being intentional about the actions. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Like it
so
just
Shawn, let me humor you for a sec, and then this will probably be the last thing I say because I got to finish writing this code. Um,
Sir, the Dr. Miles teach you how to do that code.
oh man, you got me fucked up. Shorty ass and teach us a goddamn thing. Sir, the bullying expression. Bro,
Oh,
that's hey, bro. We can have please make that the next theme. Like we need new, fresh faces to come teach at HBCUs because them outdated teachers, they'll be the reason why we don't go into STEM. But
I
anyways,
hey,
um,
oh man, I'm one of them. I'm
hey,
one of
bro,
them
that's
because
what I'm saying. Like, let's make that the next thing, bro. Let's make
yeah,
that the next thing, bro.
yeah,
Because that should
definitely.
be pissing me off. Because on the flip side, there is another alternative. They don't pay us, and it's hard to generate research when you're on when you're on a 5-4-5 schedule. You're teaching 5 courses each semester. But nevertheless, Shawn, what I would like to do, I would like to add a segment to your podcast if you will have me. I'd like to add a segment where we've talked all these things. We talked about all these issues. We you know what I mean? We sort of challenged each other to think these different ways. We need to start coming up with viable solutions to move forward.
great,
Like,
great.
okay, so after we talk this through, like what do each individual prescribe to, you know what I mean, to sort of help mitigate these issues in a more tangible way.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Yeah, but wrote that down.
Sorry, is that the 4 for 4? You was just telling your viewers not to eat that.
Sure, it's trail mix.
That's
Good stuff.
yeah, that's a great idea, man. Um, so yeah, and next time for the next joint, man, we just need to come up with some topics. And this part, I'm cutting this out. So matter of fact, yeah, wait, yeah, matter of fact, yeah, I cut this out. But yeah, next time we can just come up with some topics beforehand. And I got the HBCU professional thing down, action plan. I got all that done. But yeah, man, gonna pull this all together.
Yeah.
I I ask on Instagram like I make a post and be like, "What's some topics y'all want us to talk about on our podcast?"
Great idea.
And see what niggas got to say. So that'll be my introduction. Let motherfuckers know we got some fire to talk about.
Great
And
idea.
shit,
When
I,
hey,
I
when are we gonna see the first one?
Shit, I gotta finish processing.
So we can start disseminating that out. I mean, I get you want to try to build up a high volume content when you edit everything, and so you can like have the episodes just ready to go per week or whatever.
Yeah.
But I would like to see it because that gives me a better sense of what I need to do better. You know what I mean?
Oh,
How I put
I ain't
together
see
my
y'all the link.
sentences and stuff like that.
I ain't see y'all the link. Damn.
No, I mean you
no,
probably
I
did.
did. I got it. I
Man,
seen it.
hey, bro. Last week I was traveling. It was just a lot going on, bro. So I probably lost it. I mean, I can go double back, but just send back the link because I want to. I always, as a public speaker, I want to know how to do better, how to get
Right.
to the point faster, while I'm constructing these sentences and stuff like that.
And I think you should keep it the same with us both being on here. But sometimes I think you should add a guest speaker because somebody that I think would thrive in these type of conversations is Frank.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I think Frank
yeah,
could
well,
thrive in these
yeah.
type of conversations
Okay.
with like Frank Smith, Dubop.
So let's do it like this. Like when we, depending on what topics we coming up with, we can already have our guests planned out because we know like Frank or whoever
Yeah.
good to speak on this. And let's just
Yeah,
say we know we're gonna speak on this topic. Tell them to call in at 9:30 or whatever. When they
I'm with
come
that.
on, we're gonna jump on that topic, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
Yeah, because
Bro,
that's
yeah, because I got a lot of different topics we could talk about, man. Because we could talk about how some of these bitches be doing one of us and then want to marry the other one. You know what I'm saying?
that happened. That happened with me and Stars. I mean, like we busted. How you want me to be your boyfriend? But
Whole
you
time you
are
definitely got a whole nother Dino to do.
Right.
Hey, but no, what I
I'm gonna stop the
this
recording.
nigga, hey, I knew you was coming with it, but no, we can.